What's going on, people? Welcome to another In Motion Football live stream. My name is Alam, and today we got a watch along for Jets and Steelers. We got a recap of Week 7, and it should be a pretty great time. Two interesting teams to look at, two new look offenses. Unfortunately, hold on. Where's the chat isn't popping up? What the hell? I see the chat in here for my guy King, who's our resident Steelers fan, is at the game. So we won't get to get the resident Steelers fans input during the game, but yeah, I think Bleacher Report is starting up the game on their site, and we're good to go, people. Shout out to everybody that's watching this live. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Najee Harris starts us off with a 4-yard gain. Russell Wilson's first snap is indeed a handoff. So for those of you who may not be familiar with how we do things here, we're going to recap every game from Week 7 so far during the breaks in play. So commercials or just dead periods in the game, we'll go through each and every game. I have every score queued up as a banner here. So we will go game by game through every single one. Make sure you guys get your thoughts in the chat about the games as we go through them. If you guys want to go into any games particularly to start, we can do that. A dump off play action Russell Wilson to Darnell Washington. We know play action is a big part of how things go for Russell Wilson. When he's playing good football and when he's successful, play action is usually a big part of it. Hello, we should have beat the Packers, but the offense can't go. Hold on. What do you mean by can't go? I'm just curious. Steelers already almost at midfield. Hand off to Najee. Najee picks up about 13 yards. And no, he's still fighting. Gets about 17 yards on first down. Steelers' first drive going the way you would expect it. Or not the way you'd expect it, but the way they would hope it goes. Lots of running. And play action for Russell Wilson. So if they can keep him in this kind of a comfortable game plan, handing it off, running play action, you'd assume that that's what they hope to do with him. The offense is struggling, and defensive it better, or it's better, I'm assuming. But yeah, we're gonna talk about Houston for sure. Again, this kind of lines up with what I've been saying about Houston all year, which is just we can't take for granted that they're a great team yet because they haven't shown it. Even though we all expect them to show it at some point, they have the pieces. They did do it last year. But remember, they didn't start out last year as a great football team. They settled into it. So, yeah. Again, we all assume that the Texans will round out into being a really great team, especially when Nico Collins comes back, but it hasn't happened yet. And we just have to acknowledge that they're playing kind of below what everybody's expectation of them probably is. Hand off to, what's his name? Why am I forgetting the backup's name? Yeah, it's been a while since I've watched the Steelers. I completely forgot his name. What the hell? They're going to show his name at some point, I'm sure. All right, well, 3rd and 5. Yep, we lost a couple of athletes for the year this year, Deshaun Watson and Brandon Ayuk. And then DK Metcalf. I didn't get an update on DK Metcalf. What did they say? I know he was carted off, but is he going to be okay? Russell Wilson feels the pressure, rolls right, and just throws it out of bounds. Yikes. Yikes. That's not what Steelers fans wanted to see, I'm assuming. No update yet, right? Okay, yeah. Well, that's good because you saw the quick updates for Deshaun and Ayuk. So hopefully no update is good news. I don't want to see DK down because DK is awesome. And we need the Niners to have some competition in that division. That division sucks. 46-yard field goal from Boswell. We have our first points of the game on the first drive. Devontae Adams and the Jets take the field next. And I'm sure we're going to see some early Devontae targets. Barkley went off today. Oh, for sure. Barkley had an unreal game today. They actually gave him the chance of coming back into the game to break the record, but he wasn't interested in doing that. But shout out to the Giants, man. They played horrible today. Like, I have been kind of talking about how the Giants, they don't look that bad anymore. Like, they're not complete trash. But I think their left tackle, Andrew Thomas going out, that really messed things up for them offensively. And defensively, I have nothing to say. Brian Burns left at some point, but I didn't think they were that bad defensively. But they were today. They were definitely bad today. So with our first commercial break, we'll go into the first game. So Broncos Saints was Thursday Night Football, 33-10. Big blowout here. The only takeaway I want to talk about from this game is the fact that the Saints season is over. The quarterback situation looks shaky. I am not a huge Derek Carr fan by any means, but my big takeaway, shout out Joel, Jaden Daniels has a hip injury. I thought it was a rib injury. If it's a hip, it's a hip issue. What are they saying? Are they saying he's going to miss time? But yeah, no, the Saints season is over. Derek Carr, I don't know when he's going to come back, but they're racking up L's, and I do think they're going to continue racking up L's. So let me check here what's going on with the Saints schedule. The Saints at 2-5 are going to play the Chargers, Panthers, Falcons, and Browns. Well, to be honest, the Panthers and the Browns are winnable games, but I think they probably drop the games to the Chargers and the Falcons there. So if they end up at 4-7, that's bad. But yeah, you said he said never mind. You're right. It's a rip. Do you know what's going on with Derek Carr? When is he supposed to be back? Because like I said, my main takeaway from the Thursday night game was the Saints. I don't know if they can win football games with their backup quarterbacks. It looks horrible. Rattler, a highly touted prospect, didn't go high in the draft for a reason. Couple of weeks, okay. Well, they need him back ASAP. But yeah, that's the main takeaway from this game. So on to my game here, Eagles Giants. I think it was good. The Eagles finally put belt to ass. The Eagles hadn't put belt to ass in a long time. So that part of it was good. I want to give the Eagles credit for not playing down to their opponent, because they've done a whole lot of playing down to their opponents. They didn't do that this time, and there is some credit to be deserved there. But that's, to be honest, it for me. We know that Saquon Barkley is really good at football. We know AJ Brown is really good at football. I'm mildly pleased with the fact that the Eagles can put up with injuries to the offensive line. Fred Johnson had some shaky moments, but I think ultimately he settled in. He did pretty good in run blocking. And yeah, we saw the Eagles lose offensive linemen against the Saints. We saw them lose offensive linemen, obviously, in the last game. We saw them play with a couple backups in this game. I really like our offensive line depth. But yeah, those are my two main takeaways. For the first time in a long time, the Eagles actually put belt to ass, and the offensive line depth looks solid. Other than that, I'm not going to get too gassed about the defense producing. I think we had 5 sacks before the last 2 games. First pass attempt to Devontae is an incompletion. First offensive snap for the Jets today, quick out to Devontae. And to be honest, it was there. It oddly enough looks like they haven't done this for a long time. So there was a bit of a not being on the same page there. I think either Devontae, it looks like Devontae expected to sit down there, and Rodgers expected him to go to break to the sideline. Handoff to Breece Hall on the second play, goes for 2 to 3 yards. So early 3rd and long. As somebody with Garrett Wilson on their fantasy team, very interested to see how this changes his target share. I do think it's possible that his target share stays the same, and just generally the offense runs through 3 offensive players with Breece Hall, Devontae, and Garrett Wilson. Ayuk ACL. Yeah, I saw that, bro. That's okay. first of all, this is why players act like Brandon Ayuk was acting in the offseason. I'm happy for him that he got his bag before this happened. But as for the Niners, man, their season has been a disaster from a health standpoint. Rodgers, oh man, cannot find a target, gets sacked on 3rd and 8. Looks like he wanted to duck under a pass rusher there. He's just a little too old for that right now. A younger Aaron Rodgers gets out of the trouble there, but I'm looking here. We're seeing the back view. You know what though? That just looks like it was really slow developing. All the 3 routes going down the field needed a good 4 or 5 seconds. I'm confident in saying the Niners aren't making the playoffs. Ooh, that's gonna make for an interesting landscaping on Tuesday. This is true. We're gonna have to reevaluate things for the Niners. Offensively, man, they look like a mess from an injury standpoint, and a mess generally as well, because Debo's been banged up this year. You often hear in football that the beginning of the year is the healthiest time. Shout out my guy Time to Shine. Big win for the Chiefs. Big win for the Chiefs today. It's so funny how Mahomes is able to, even when he's playing like ass, to just figure out how to get it done. This man actually took for a whole 2 quarters, just looked okay. And then he simply just figured out how to do it. Bro, played like ass. Oh yeah. So, I mean, I don't think they had the hardest test today, but they showed up for sure. Spagnuolo was coaching those guys up, but we'll get back. We'll get into the game with a little bit more detail later. Just gonna finish off Eagles Giants real quick, but yeah, good to see the Eagles not play down to their competition for once. Good to see the offensive line be able to weather injuries. Not going to take away too much from the defense, because the Eagles only had 5 sacks in their first 4 games, and then they've had 13 in their last 2 games. The thing is, Deshaun Watson and Daniel Jones, they probably are owed like a gift card or something from the Eagles front 7, because that's the main reason. I don't think our defensive line is all of a sudden not a problem yet. I still think that they're going to struggle against some better offenses. But what I will say when it comes to the defense, that Cooper DeJean playing in the slot has been a game changer for us, because 1, he's good. 2, he's going to continue to get better. So conceivably, like players like him and Quinyon Mitchell, they could be strengths of our defense by the end of the year. That's very plausible. So him playing instead of Avonte Maddox is a game changer, and I just look forward to seeing how this defense plays against better offenses. I do like that we got a chance to give a young player his first reps against horrible offenses in Cleveland and the Giants, before eventually being able to give them reps against a Joe Burrow, a Bengals offense that ultimately isn't good, but Joe Burrow, clearly being the kind of more of a test than Daniel Jones and Deshaun Watson. And then after that, I think we get the Jaguars and the Cowboys. So, yeah, I do think Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell should just continue to get better and better and better. And that's an awesome thing to have. But, yeah, other than that, I'm not going to overreact too much. And look, the Giants are just ass. So we'll quickly run through Patriots Jaguars at the next break. But we got football, people. 3-0 Pittsburgh. 3 and out from the defense. And on the first play, screenplay to, why am I blanking on this running back's name? Yo, what's the Steelers backup running back's name? But yeah, man, Quinyon was close to getting a pick. He passed the Malik Neighbors test, in the sense that even though the Giants can't throw the ball because of their quarterback, Neighbors has been able to produce, man. This year, he's been able to produce a lot. So if Neighbors was cooking, he would still get his run. Yo, you know what? I'm just gonna put myself. Out of misery. Jalen Warren, that's his name. How did I forget? How did I forget that man's name? But yeah. Where are the Steelers at in the field? Well, 3rd and 1 from their own 45. 5 wide on 3rd and 1. That's certainly a choice when you're a power running team. But getting late in the play clock. Are they going to snap this ball? They do. 3rd and 1, 5 wide. Wilson scrambles to the right, and Calvin Austin completely drops the pass. Good look there. I'm assuming that's what they wanted to get, because it looked like Wilson's. It looks like he was looking to that receiver early in the play. Then he had to scramble, and he kept locked. He stayed locked into number 19. But yeah, Calvin Austin just drops the ball there. Well, back-to-back 3 and outs in this game. Hurts was also scrambling again. Yeah, Hurts looked better to back-to-back games without turnovers from Hurts, which, to be honest, is a really good sign, because that guy was turning the ball over like at very concerning levels. Like, not gonna like try to downplay that at all. I felt very concerned. Oh my God, Gibson fumbled. He fumbled it out of bounds. But yeah, even though, again, Browns defense, like, we can say what we want to say about Cleveland. The Browns defense isn't ass. Giants defense, they lead the league in sacks. Again, I'd expected them to be respectable. Like, it's kind of fair to say that the Eagles made them look trash as well. That being said, it's still the Giants. We still don't respect that matchup a whole lot. But yeah. Niners lost, I equal to 20 ACL. Yep. I know the NFL is sick after they moved Commanders Bears to Monday over. Wait, hold on. Bro, did they move? Is that what they did? Week 8. Nah, I'm saying, Giants and Steelers is Monday Night Football. They moved this game, Commanders Bears, to 4 o'clock. So Eagles, Bengals was 4 o'clock. They swapped 1 o'clock and 4 o'clock on Sunday. Yeah, no, that's the thing. Sunday Night Football is still Cowboys Niners. It's Cowboys Niners. They flexed it to 4 o'clock. Which is like whatever. I checked the schedule next week, by the way. Next week is going to be ass. Next week is going to be so bad. Okay, yeah. Real quick. Patriots Jaguars. Did not watch a whole ton of this game. But what I will say is that when we previewed this week, I talked about how this is basically the Travis Hunter Bowl. So Travis Hunter, welcome to New England. It looks clearly like New England is going to have a horrible record. They have their quarterback, because, as you can see, Drake May, in very, very suspect conditions, is looking solid enough. So yeah, the Patriots will be picking very high. They have their quarterback of the future. They have a chance to get him a pretty solid weapon. And I think that's what they're going to do. So welcome to New England, Travis Hunter. This was the Travis Hunter Bowl. Other than that, a matchup of 2 horrible teams. I don't know why London had to watch that, but they did. Shout out to them for that. And yeah, they got to see the Travis Hunter Bowl, and I think he's going to New England as a result of this game. Titans Bills. I think the Titans were up 10-0 in this game. I thought they were going to cover, just because teams, underdogs of more than 1 score this year, have covered like 80% of the time or something like that. So yeah, the Titans started good. I expected them to cover. They start up 10-0. And then, to be honest, the Bills just realized, like, we have a game. I think maybe they thought the game was at 2 or something, because once they figured out that they had football to play, they smacked the Titans around. Mason Rudolph played this whole game. I didn't know he was going to play. I thought maybe Levis got hurt, but then I realized I think Rudolph played the whole game. But yeah, the Titans, actually, I don't think they're a horrible team on paper. I just think their quarterback situation is so ass that it doesn't matter what they have around the quarterback. But yeah, man, Titans, actually one of the biggest disasters. Man. They spent so much money, burned so much draft capital. They actually have a decent amount of talent, and they're just wasting a whole year of this talent. because they could not figure out the quarterback position. Yeah, no, the Titans did start good. We got a personal foul on Pittsburgh here, giving the Jets their first down of the game. Larry Ogunjobi just twisting Brees Hall by his head. That was a really dumb thing to do. I caught nice today. Cincy, you had Cincy 5.5, Detroit covering, Packers money line, Colts by 3, Eagles by 3, Seahawks plus 3. Damn. Yeah, you did really, really well. Was this one parlay or are these all individual bets? Because it looks like you did really, really well. Check down to Brees Hall, who has tons of space, gathers ahead of steam, gets about 17 yards. And after running just one play, actually, no, they did run 2 plays. After running 2 plays, the Jets are already at midfield. Pittsburgh's offense to start the game looked very, 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 very ordinary. Yeah, parlay, I don't bet big. But yo, even a small parlay with that many legs was probably solid. Devontae, first catch as a Jet for 9 yards. If I was a betting man, I would have put money on a Saquon TD. Honestly, I probably would have put money on two touchdowns and it wouldn't have cashed. I know that's what I would have done. But yeah, shout out to Saquon, bro. He was out there looking like Boston Scott against the Giants. It was a beautiful thing to see. Rodgers, handoff to Brees Hall on 2nd and 1, and the whole Steelers front 7 is in the backfield. God damn. Yo, the thing that everybody should have known is that the rules about running backs and paying them, I don't think really applies to Philly because, or it's different situation to situation, right? So like, let's say the Giants and Saquon both put, or the Giants and the Eagles. Well, hold on, 3rd and 4. He finds Alan Lazard, who maybe stretches out for the first down, but probably not. I think he had a knee down by the time he reached out. So it's going to be like 4th and 1. But yeah, let's say the Giants and the Eagles both put the same money down, right? What the Giants would have got out of Saquon and what the Eagles are currently getting out of Saquon are 2 different things. Like the way he's producing right now is not how he would have produced. Ooh, okay. I don't know if this is still a first down or like this might not have been a first down, but I think it may have been closer than what they marked. Yeah. Yo, this replay that they just showed. Okay, they did mark it a first down. Yeah, he did a good job of keeping his knee up. I think if anything, maybe his elbow hit, but they're marking it a first down, so the replay must show conclusively that it was a first down. But yeah, the Giants would not have got this. So it didn't make sense for the Giants to pay him this money. If you think about what the Eagles are providing to Saquon, they're providing him good blocking and 2 good receivers to keep his boxes light. It made sense for Saquon to come to Philadelphia for that reason, that he's going to show up and outperform his deal because of the circumstance. He also has a running quarterback. Like he has everything a running back could ask for. And that's why it's crazy. But the thing is, we have Jalen Hurts. We have a quarterback that we paid a lot of money to. But we have to be a running football team, man. We have to bully teams into giving us AJ and Devontae open on the outside. And when that happens, the field will open up for Jalen Hurts. But the problem is once you pay a quarterback, you want the quarterback to give you return on that investment. But frankly, that's just a stupid way to go about things. Swing pass to Braylon Allen, who I don't know if swing passes are the best kind of that's not the best way to drop a play for Braylon Allen, I think. Same way. Yeah, 100%. Like these teams are going to get the most out of running backs. So if you think about the money that they put into the position, you have to look at it differently than bad teams doing the same thing. Like if Tennessee re-signed Derrick Henry to the same money Baltimore gave him, that shit would be stupid. Daniel Jones hasn't thrown a touchdown at MetLife since that extension. That's a real stat. Garrett Wilson with the ball gets the first down, about 13 yards. You spoken about the Lions game? Nah, we've just gotten through the Broncos Saints game and the Eagles Giants game. We go through games during basically the breaks. So any commercial breaks or just dead points in the game, that's what we use the games as the filler for. But yeah, we'll get to that game for sure, man. I think we saw the limitations of Sam Darnold, or just the limitations of a backup quarterback generally. But yeah, if it feels like Pittsburgh's defense had some momentum, Breece Hall finds the edge, gets into the end zone. I hope he was short for fantasy purposes, but nope. It looks like Breece Hall found the corner, and he's in the end zone. Yeah, it looked like the Steelers defense had some momentum and had a thing going. And then they take a 15-yard penalty, and that kind of messes everything up. Gotta stay disciplined. Oh yeah, last thing to say about Titans Bills is that Amari Cooper looked good. Not a crazy day, but for week 1 on a new team, decent amount of production. We'll see what the Bills can cook up. Okay, Dolphins Colts. So this game, the main thing I want to talk about is Tua's going to be back. The fact that the Dolphins couldn't get this win is huge, I think, because I think if they were 3-3 and they handed the reins back to Tua, maybe they have a chance. Because I was looking at their schedule and I saw 9-8 for them if they won this game. Which is probably just one game off what you need to make the playoffs. But for them to be 2-4 and on track to be 8-9, if my predictions go right, that's tough. Very winnable game for them. Couldn't get it done. It begs the question, what is Tua coming back for exactly? But it is what it is, man. That guy wants to play football. I guess he wants to play football. Nothing else anyone can do about it. And then the thing about the other side of this matchup, the Colts, this is kind of, venturing into what I've been talking about for a good month now. There's going to be a quarterback controversy in Indianapolis, man. Anthony Richardson did not look good today. Struggled against a Dolphins defense that's not particularly amazing at all. I'm going to pull up his stats really quickly. But yeah, man, 10 for 24. Now, it doesn't matter what the rest of your stat line looks like, but 10 for 24 is terrible. 129. You have no touchdowns and 1 fumble. Now, you think maybe if that's what his passing stats look like, perhaps the rushing stats look better. The answer to that is no. Anthony Richardson had 14 rushes for 56 yards. That's a running back stat line. 4 yards a carry. Man, horrible game from Anthony Richardson. And he doesn't have much longer to prove to the locker room and the coaching staff that he's the better option. Because this can only happen for so long. It can only happen for so long that the rest of his team goes out there and makes the personal sacrifice it takes to play football, while acknowledging that the second best chance to win is playing quarterback right now. Because that's what the reality is. Anthony Richardson gives the Colts their second best chance to win football games. Joe Flacco gives them their best chance to win football games. And this can only persist for so long until the coach loses the locker room. And being that this coach, Shane Steichen, is a young coach, it'll be very interesting to see how he deals with this. Now, I don't think he was there. Was he there when they drafted Richardson? I think he is, right? Damn. Yeah, man, that's your drafted quarterback that may put you in the position that may have you lose the locker room and that may result in you losing your job. So quietly, the stakes are very high for Indy right now. If Anthony Richardson stays healthy and continues to not play well, the kind of collapse that this could trigger, like the domino effect, is crazy. So that's a huge thing for the Colts, man. They have to be very careful about how this next 2 months goes. I have Brees Hall and Devontae in fantasy, but I've already locked up doing shit, man. I have in this game I have Garrett Wilson, and the other guy has I think George Pickens and Brees Hall. So far, man, Brees Hall's put up numbers so far. Back shoulder to George Pickens, who is strapped up by Sauce Gardner. It's a shame that George Pickens is in this difficult of an offense. Because between the play calling and the quarterback situation, not an easy life for a receiver to live. And he deserves better, you know? Like, how is it that the Steelers had a 2024 offense like 10 years ago and they have a 2014 offense now? So, like, what I'm calling back to is like when they had Emmanuel Sanders, Antonio Brown, there was a third receiver too. Fuck, what was his name? Martavis Bryant, but that's not the one I'm thinking of. Anyways, when they had those receivers, Le'Veon Bell, when they had those kind of guys, they had a 2024 offense in 2014. And now they have a 2014 offense in 2024. Yo, Pittsburgh is a backwards franchise, man. Incompletion on 3rd and 12. And Pittsburgh, honestly, this game is like pre-Larry Ogunjobi 15-yard penalty and post. Because yeah, Pittsburgh had a decent amount of momentum. Their defense forced a 3 and out on the Jets. Their offense was moving the ball, ultimately coming up short, but moving the ball. Now all of a sudden, the Jets just made it look easy on their last drive, and the Steelers have back-to-back 3 and outs. So that's the thing, bro. Time to shine. I would say that like that almost shows how good the offense was because Ben was washed and they were still putting up numbers. Like they were actually carrying Ben at some point. There was a point where he was completely washed and they still had a good offense, but there was a kind of a sweet spot where maybe this is before AB and Martavis Bryant, but more like, Mike Wallace. That's who the receiver was. When it was Mike Wallace, Emmanuel Sanders, and AB, that offense was crazy. Like I said, that was a 2024 offense in 2014. Now we have to watch this nonsense in 2024. But yeah, those offenses were carrying Ben at some point. Toss to Brees Hall, who's tripped up short of the line of scrimmage. 2nd and long for the Jets. I heard they're trying to get Garrett Wilson. See, I saw that report as well, but to be honest, that's really stupid, man. You guys think that the Jets, who are in the most obvious all-in situation in the league, are going to come up off of Garrett Wilson? Why? I understand teams trying to check up on Cooper Kupp, but Garrett Wilson is ridiculous. Rodgers takes a shot, had somebody, but just missed whoever that was on a crossing route. Oh, that was Devontae. His chemistry with Devontae is not there right now. The first snap of the game where they weren't on the same page about which route should have been run, that was a bad example. And then Devontae is wide open there on a crossing route, and Rodgers completely misses him. It wasn't even close enough for Devontae to dive. So two players that at some point had some of the best chemistry in football, not on the same page early. 3rd and 11 for the Jets, who carried quite a bit of momentum into this drive, may squander it right here. Pittsburgh brings a ton of pressure, and Aaron Rodgers sails it out of bounds like Blake Bortles. Give me a chance. That's one of my favorite clips, when Allen Robinson was yelling at Blake Bortles. But yeah, Garrett Wilson is the target here, up against Joey Porter Jr. Really good coverage, some grabbing by Joey Porter at the end of the route, but doesn't matter what happened. He could have been open. He could have been strapped up. That ball was out of bounds. So Pittsburgh's defense corrals some of the momentum back. It's a 7-3 football game. Jets are up 4, and they are punting the ball with about 40 seconds to go. Steelers' Calvin Austin catches it, tackled immediately. They sticking with Albrook all year? Yeah, I think they have to. Yo, the thing is, oh, wait, hold on. Quan Stiggers makes the tackle. He was drafted from the CFL, people. First NFL player to be drafted from the CFL. Some of them make the transition, but to be drafted out of the CFL is crazy. But yeah, bro, in football, switching coaches mid-season, getting a coach that's out of your system mid-season is crazy, because there's no time middle of the year to implement new stuff, or like completely new stuff. You're best suited getting somebody who's in and around what you've been doing, because at the very minimum, like, they can keep things close. But that's the tough thing about football, man. Like, if let's say they brought in somebody with a completely new offensive system, there's no time. There's no practice. There's not enough practice time to install something completely new. So yeah, I think Albrook is going to be there all year. They're going all in with an interim coach, bro. Literally like a terrible franchise. But they will add Hassan Reddick. I think so. I think if I had to call this game early, I feel like the Jets are going to get this win. So that puts them at 3-4. Then they get to add Hassan Reddick. And then who do they play next week? The Patriots, that's 4-4. Texans, that's probably 4-5. Cardinals and Colts, respectable chance they're 6-5 going into the bye week, when they play the Seahawks, Dolphins, Jags, Rams, Bills, and Dolphins, where every game is winnable from that point onwards. So I do feel pretty decent about the Jets making the playoffs, especially because here's the thing. I don't actually think they're done. I don't think the Jets are done. I think the Jets are going to make another trade. I think literally, like, their owner, it probably feels like this is the closest they've ever gotten, and probably like this is one of their best chances to win a Super Bowl in his delusional mind. So I think he's going to greenlight another move. So that's where I think, the Jets are going to be very aggressive about. They're probably going to sign some free agents too. I think they're really going to do what they can to go all in this year. But yeah, we got another commercial, so let's see where we left off. Oh yeah, we were talking about Dolphins and Colts. Yeah, quarterback controversy in Indy, man. That's gonna get ugly if they lose games. Or actually, no. Even if they are okay with results, if Anthony Richardson doesn't look good, that is a problem. Let's look at the Colts' upcoming games. They're 4-3. They play Houston, Minnesota, Buffalo, New York, Detroit. Damn. 1, 2, 3, 4. I think at best they're 2-3. But I think there's a very real chance they're 1-4 in this next stretch of 5 games. That puts them at 5-7. Yeah, if they win 2, that puts them at 6-6. But I think 6-6 is their best case scenario going into December, where it looks like in December, honestly, they could probably win their last 5 games. They play the Patriots, the Broncos, the Titans, and the Giants. So if Richardson gets himself benched during this onslaught, then yeah, Flacco could clean up down the stretch. Big up, Leon, bro. Travis Hunter, you are a New England Patriot. 2nd and 8. Hand out. Oh, what the hell was that? Fake to Najee. And then it looked like a bubble screen, but the pass was so far away from Calvin Austin was. What the hell was that? He was staring him down. It's not an issue of not knowing where he is. Yo. 2 for 7, 19 yards. This has not been a hot start. He got an easy play action on his first throw. Since then, 1 for 6. To be fair, though, the Calvin Austin one should have been a catch. Oh, my God. Oh, my God. Russell Wilson is stinking it up. Out here not even giving receivers a chance. Bro, they just cut to the Steelers fans and somebody's out there doing this. Get him out. Get this guy the fuck off the field. Justin Fields did not die for this. So Justin Fields, you could say the problem is that 4 out of his 6 games, he got less than 160 yards passing. My guy Russ might not hit 100 today. We're into the second quarter. My guy has 19 passing yards, and he is not able to even get it remotely close to a receiving target. This is bad. This is very, very bad. But yeah, shout out to everybody tapped in right now. 10 people watching live. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. It's the best way to support content on YouTube. We got a 1st and 10 coming up for the Jets. Honestly, I can't see right now how the Steelers hit 15 points. I can't really see it with the way they're playing right now. So you look at the Jets here. If you score another touchdown on this drive and you go up 14-3, I feel like very good about your chances of winning this football game. The Steelers offense, outside of some of their early success running the ball, has been invisible. And then if you think about what's happened since they were able to run on their first drive, yeah, nothing's happened really. Holding on the Jets offensive line. I don't think it'll be a 10-yard penalty because they were pretty backed up as is. At least Fields is a threat in the end zone and can scramble better than this version of Russ. 100% Fields is just a better quarterback right now. Plain and simple. Fields is just simply a better quarterback. Rodgers steps back, 1st and 16. Quick pass to Breece Hall. Yo, Breece Hall is about to kill me in fantasy. My goodness. Skip Bayless with an all-time tweet. Let me see it. Oh, my God. Russell Wilson is throwing the way Russell Westbrook shoots. Don't kill me. That's an all-time villain tweet right there. Do you draft Hunter top 3 or trade out for OL? Truthfully, I trade out for OL. Me personally. Just because that's kind of how I see the sport. But yeah, the Patriots probably will do that. But I just feel like, man, I don't know. You have Drake May. Can you imagine having Drake May and Travis Hunter for the next 10 years? Leon, just think about it. That'd be pretty sick. Like, again, like Trump posted himself in the AI of him in a Steelers jersey. Steelers fans, don't be surprised if your season ends 7-10. Don't kill me. On a 3rd and 11, Devontae gets 10 yards. I think his second catch as a Jet. Too far on your side of the field, and this is too defensive of a game to go for it here. So the Jets will punt. But yeah, that holding penalty fucked this drive up big time. Well, yeah. The Steelers offense is about to touch the football field. This game has been rough. This game is primed for a season prediction in the second half. If this goes the way I think it's going to go, we will be predicting the entire season in the second half to get through this goddamn football game. Oh, so then this is sparking a whole different conversation because you guys have Christian Gonzalez. I would never take a corner that high. I'm thinking Travis Hunter as a weapon for Drake May. Like, I think he's a cold receiver. I'm not really even thinking about him as a DB. In my head, I think whatever position the team decides he should play in the NFL, you probably have him for packages on the other side for special situations. But I'm playing Travis Hunter on New England. I'm playing him as a receiver mainly. But yeah, we wrapped up Dolphins Colts at the last game. Okay, Lions Vikings. This is what time to shine was waiting for, I think. This game was interesting. We saw obviously the two best records in the NFC go against each other. I thought because Minnesota was at home, this was obviously their better chance to beat the Lions. But Detroit played well. They just handed the Vikings 7 points in this game and still won by 2. They handed the Vikings 14 points, right? The defensive touchdown for the Vikings, and then the short field when they went for it on 4th down out of a punt formation. So they handed Minnesota 14 points on the road and still won by 2. This was a crazy impressive game for Detroit. I think Goff was like 18 for 18 at some point again. I think he had his first incompletion, close-ish to around 20 pass attempts into the game. But yeah, man, Detroit, sensational offensive performance. All things considered, especially because they went up against Brian Flores' defense. Brian Flores is cooking this year. He was cooking last year in terms of how he coached up what I thought was a bad defense on paper, and then he got to spend some money, and now he's coaching up what is probably an above-average personnel to being a good defense. They had Goff under pressure, but Goff was actually cooking under pressure. I think he was like 10 for 12 under pressure. So yeah, unreal game from Detroit, and obviously it's easy to see that they have a great thing going on offensively. But if you think about how they played defensively without their best player, Aiden Hutchinson, best Detroit Lions defensive player, not a debate at all. I think he was leading the league in sacks before Dexter Lawrence took the lead this week. Without him, they played good football defensively. That's crazy. But yeah, we'll finish wrapping up that game in a second. This game is back. 1st and 10 for the Steelers. Handoff to Najee, 1 yard on the ground. It looks like both defenses have adjusted to both teams' running games. Both of these running backs got some joy early on in the game, which has stopped. Is that Jalen Mills? Is the green hair back? Jalen Mills. Oh shit, my guy Jalen Mills is a Jet. Let's go. Super Bowl winning Eagles corner Jalen Mills. We got holding on who? Holding on Pittsburgh. Okay. Pittsburgh, last thing they needed was a drive killer because they've been killing their own drives, but now they get into 1st and 20. So that's not good. And that's a problem for me. My team probably don't know how to utilize him when they can't get the offense working. Yeah, they're probably going to go offensive line. All things considered. They could also trade back and maybe not get a fortune, but still get good compensation. My problem is like, if you could trade back and you're trading a quarterback to somebody else, the kind of haul you would get is insane. So that's a no-brainer. But you're not going to get a haul. Okay, takes a deep shot to George Pickens. Oh my God, what a catch. What a catch, George Pickens. He had the DB all over him. Tons of contact. Puts his hands out for the ball pretty late there. It's a moonshot from Russell Wilson. All kinds of contact. The catch definitely bailed him because you're just throwing up 50-50 jump balls. Hella interference from Eccles. What a catch from Pickens. Again, that player having to deal with this situation is crazy. Jalen Warren up the middle for about 4 yards. But yeah, man, what a catch from Pickens. I can't believe he has to waste his time in this offense. Truly, truly disgusting stuff. I think Russell Wilson had 19 passing yards before that catch. And what is that, a 44-yard catch? Hella yards. Play action, another dump off to Darnell Washington. This is I think that's the carbon copy of his first pass in this game. Darnell Washington gets 15 yards. And all of a sudden, Pittsburgh has some life offensively. Like I said, they ran this exact play, first play of the game. May have been second play of the game, but his first pass attempt and completion was play action, Darnell Washington to the flat. When you see a play like that succeed back-to-back plays, you know they're probably going to use that to set something up after that. There's probably going to be the same play action, but then a receiver running into this space, like 10 yards behind Washington, and you're going to see that completed. So look for probably not Pickens because you can't catch anybody by surprise with Pickens, but Calvin Austin route 10 yards down the field, right on that same kind of a look. Expect that, people. 2nd and 5. 7 rushes for 30 yards for Najee. Decent day so far. I think he got 17 of those 30 on one run. And he just lost about 4 yards here. Oh, God. They're doing a lot there. Referees should honestly, plays like that, referees need to blow them quicker. You can't blame the defense for trying to finish the play. You can't blame an offensive player, obviously, for not quitting. Referees simply just have to get that, to call the play dead earlier in these type of situations. So 2nd and long now for Pittsburgh. I don't think they fared well in 2nd and long much today. Russell Wilson drops back, buys himself some time, and throws it right out of bounds. Absolutely smokes somebody there holding a cord up for a cameraman. Wait, that wasn't 2nd and long. That was 3rd and long. Shit. Pittsburgh has to settle for a field goal after that huge completion to George Pickens. So all that, and they don't even get to bring the lead back with them. Boswell comes out for a second field goal. So we'll go back to this game, people. So Lions-Vikings. Other takeaways from this game. Oh, yeah. I'm impressed with the Lions defense. That's where I left off. I still think they have to address that, though. I think week 1, when you have to do something new, is the best week because, again, you're doing something new. Nobody kind of knows what you're going to do. Whatever the Lions did defensively is going to obviously be better studied as the year goes on. And picking apart the Aiden Hutchinson Lions defense will happen gradually. So, this is a great call. Gibbs of Montgomery 1-2 reminds me of Kamara Ingram 1-2 punch. So tough. This is true. This is true, bro. That's actually exactly what it feels like. Damn, yo, that's a great call. And stylistically too, like down to a T. If anything, you could say maybe Montgomery's a better pass catcher than Ingram, but stylistically, man, it's the same shit. And if you think about what Drew Brees was at that time, it is pretty similar to what Goff is now. Goff, I'd say, is a little bit better than that version of Drew Brees. But yeah, you're talking about a pocket passer who's not going to do a whole lot of running, may be able to escape a bad pocket here and there, but is for the most part just looking to drop back. There's a lot of commonalities there. I think you're seeing basically that Saints offense, but with more passing targets, because I don't think that Saints offense had the passing targets. But yeah, very similar situations, and the running back room definitely looks similar. But yeah, that's a great call, bro. That's a great call. The rushing attack was in full force today. It looked like they only had Michael Thomas. They only had Slant Boy. It looked like what was it against? It looked like David Montgomery's fumble was gonna give the Vikings the game, but like I said, Lions spotted them 2 touchdowns and they still didn't do shit. So disappointing game from Minnesota. They have a short week against the Rams coming up. I think the Rams are too banged up to upset them. Minnesota is going to continue getting wins, but I think a game like today showed you that come playoff time is going to be standard Minnesota Vikings shit. Yeah, honestly, the whole rest of the season for the Vikings are winnable games. They're going to have a really good record, but what happened to them against Detroit today, that will happen again, guaranteed. But yeah, this game is back. When we come back to the recap, so we're going to talk Bengals and Browns. I know everybody's thrilled about that one, but yeah, that was a weird game. To Gibson runs the return back to like the 28. Darnold's Cousins outcome going to be the same, 100%, bro. There's same type beat, man. Really, what we're going to see is if McCarthy can do anything different. That's going to be the big thing. So this is a 1-point game now. Jets had a disappointing drive, a 3-and-out after their touchdown drive. Feels like Breece Hall is the guy that's really been working so far for them consistently in this game. Rodgers, quick slant to Devontae. That's the most in sync they've looked. They've had a couple moments where they didn't quite look on the same page. That throw looked like, really like a lot of chemistry. Like a lot of chemistry goes into the timing of a receiver and a quarterback being that good. You could see the chemistry there. That's the Green Bay slant right there. 100%, bro. We've seen that. We've seen that slant. It looks so familiar. Hand off to, I think that's Breece. Nope, that's Braylon Allen. So I'm seeing that the Jets coach has the marker in his ear. The thing is, I've seen a lot of coaches have their marker in their ear. I want to know, like, how is that more convenient than a pocket? Like, I've honestly seen people do that and then tried it out for myself, what it's like to have like a pen or a pencil in your ear. I don't understand how that's more convenient than a pocket, because I feel like it could fall and I'd be worried about it falling. Like, just find a comfortable pocket and just put, oh my God, Breece Hall takes a dump off. Yo, is he going to score? Nah. Oh, my fantasy team is cooked. Breece Hall gets tackled at the 3. God damn. This has been the Breece Hall show for the Jets offense. Hell, he did not like Yeah, he didn't have a ton of space or anything. There was 4 Steelers around him when he caught the ball. He just made the perfect cut and just went. Like decisiveness, you know. Sometimes dancing around there and trying to put a move on somebody, it really lets everybody close in on you. He just hit the gas and went. Okay, for my fantasy team to have any hope, I need Garrett Wilson to get this touchdown. I need yo. Well, which one? Actually both. But yeah, so when the Eagles won the Super Bowl, I went to the home opener when the Eagles won on a 61-yard kick on the last play against the Giants. Jake Elliott's first game as an Eagle, first of many. He hit a 61-yarder to win the game. I was at that game. The game was crazy. And then the last time, 2022, when we went to the Super Bowl, I was at the loss to the Commanders. So the funny thing is going into the Super Bowl, the Eagles had only lost one game with Jalen Hurts, and it was that game against the Commanders. So I was saying, I'm like, yo, there's no chance I'm going to the Super Bowl. I was at the only game that the Eagles lost with Hurts. But then, they lost without me being there anyways. But yeah, no, I've been going every year since 2021. And then I had gone a couple times before that randomly. But yeah, now that I'm a fully grown person, I'm my own man. Oh shit. I couldn't tell which receiver that was going to. The Commanders' loss was even questionable. Yeah, 100%. That missed face mask call against Goddard pissed me off. Like the thing is, I've seen a few. No, I haven't seen that many losses. I think I've actually, to be honest, I've only seen 2 losses. I was pissed when they lost to the Falcons this year, but the level of pissed I had reached when they lost to the Commanders that game was crazy. Second and goal for the Jets. Okay, Garrett Wilson, I need this. Hand off to Breece Hall. I'm cooked. I think he's short. It's third and goal, though, bro. They're just going to hand it to him. Do I always go to Philly? I've seen them play in Detroit twice. So Carson Wentz's rookie year, I saw them in Detroit, and Michael Vick's first start as an Eagle, I saw them in Detroit. I haven't seen them in Buffalo, but no, I've seen them in Detroit. But when I go to Eagles games, to be honest, I'd rather go to a home game. It's fun as hell to be around the Eagles fans. Like it's a fun atmosphere to be a part of. I think maybe as I get older, it will be more fun to see more parts of the country. But as for right now, man, I like being in Philly. Play action fake. Oh, it's not Garrett Wilson. It's Ty Conklin. I need to go to a game. Yeah, bro, you need to go to Kansas City, right? Because you need to be. That's the same way I feel about the Eagles crowd. I feel like you'd probably feel about Arrowhead, and then the side benefit of all the food you could eat in Kansas City. You 100% need to go to Kansas City. Now, the problem is that there's nothing else to really go to Kansas City for. So, like, you could make it a quick, short 2-day trip. Like, if I were to go to Kansas City for a game, I would go for like 2 days, but you're coming from too far away to make a 2-day trip. So you gotta I don't know, come to Texas or some shit for something and then just make a quick trip to Kansas City. Like, oh shit, it's a blocked extra point. The Steelers will keep it a 7-point game. There's a flag here. Where's this flag? Oh my god, did they give up a block because of like a stupid offsides or something? Houston's not far from KC. I can check that for you right now. Houston to Kansas City drive. Damn, that's an 11-hour drive. Okay, Kansas City, to be honest, if you're talking about things close to it, in terms of big things, like Colorado and Chicago are probably the 2 biggest places close to Kansas City. Okay, so I have a question, people. In a situation like this, you're up 7. You get a penalty on the extra point. Why not go for 2 here to make it a 2-score game? Make it a 9-point game. It's 1 yard. If you miss it, worst case scenario, it's a 7-point game. The other team is just gonna tie the game if they score a touchdown. Why not go for 2 here? Steelers special teams coach is pissed. That is an angry man right there. I'll tell you that much. It's 2-point conversion for the Jets. This looks like a light front from Pittsburgh. I feel like they could run into this if they wanted to. Play action fake, toss to Garrett Wilson, who can't get me the 6 points, but they go for the 2 points, and Garrett Wilson gets it. That penalty was a 3-point swing for Pittsburgh. That was literally like a field goal. Oh my God. It goes from being I lied. No, I'm completely off about that. It's definitely just a 2-point swing. But yeah, yeah, crazy. It could have been a 7-point game. Now it's a 9-point game. The difference with it being a 2-score game is crazy. Now a Pittsburgh offense that, frankly, outside of one play and a couple of Najee runs, has done a whole lot of nothing. Has to now, if they want to win this game, score 10 points and hold the Jets to none. So odds don't seem too good for Pittsburgh winning this game. But speaking of odds not looking too good, odds don't look too good for Cleveland to do anything for the rest of the year. Nick Chubb came back, predictably had a rough game considering that the Browns' offensive line is banged up, and he had a horrific knee injury. So he comes back, averages 2 yards a carry. That's expected. People, I have a question. The Cleveland Browns signed 2 quarterbacks in the offseason. They signed Jameis Winston and they signed Snoop Huntley. They cut Snoop Huntley, and then we learned today that Dorian Thompson-Robertson is ahead of Jameis Winston. So if DTR is your backup quarterback, why the hell would you sign 2 quarterbacks in the offseason? So it's just stupidity that this Cleveland franchise does. So whatever, right? Deshaun leaves the game. The fact that the crowd was cheering and the players were pissed that the crowd was cheering, that situation is a complete mess. That situation is a disaster outright. But the fact that happened, you have to you go to DTR. DTR plays okay. Offense moves a little bit. Then DTR gets hurt and Jameis goes in. You just talk about a disaster, man. Like the Browns defense still has some stuff. Like they still have some pieces. They're still capable of playing okay football, but they're just gonna quit, man. Like that defense is not gonna watch what this offense is gonna become with a beat up Nick Chubb, and no Amari Cooper. There's a decent chance that whoever plays for Cleveland at quarterback is an upgrade on Deshaun Watson, but with what's happened to the offensive line, what's happened with Amari Cooper being traded, Nick Chubb not obviously, probably ever going to be the same running back, that defense is just going to quit, and this team is going south big time. At least now with the Deshaun injury, you probably don't have a week 1 a start, like a quarterback healthy week 1. They can with good conscience draft a quarterback now early. They're going to lose a bunch of games, so they have a decent shot at getting a really high draft pick and drafting a quarterback. So at least there's that for them, but it's going to be very painful in the meantime. Play action. Oh my God. Russell Wilson rolls right into a defender, but actually that's a great throw from Russell Wilson. A sidearm around a defender right right into the hands of Freiermuth. You know that they got to give credit where credit's due. That was a good throw by Russell Wilson. Nah, bro, it's not a good quarterback class. If the quarterbacks go high in this draft class, they're overdrafted. But Carson Beck and Quinn Ewers, I feel like they're definitely going to be disappointments. Shador Sanders, he might be pretty good, but he might not be. Like, I think there's no guarantee with him. The fact that he plays with such a bad offensive line, I think really muddies up the evaluation. Because to be honest, he might be a player that, like, the fact that you can put off a lot of his issues as, oh, he has a bad offensive line, that might be hiding some very real issues. So it's a tough evaluation. And then who else is there? Yeah, I don't know, bro. I don't like the quarterback class. Hella holding on Pittsburgh's offense there. I think they called 2 holding penalties. I heard Milroe is like Anthony Richardson. That's a good comp. But if anything, bro, the way Anthony Richardson's career has gone, I think that bodes poorly for Milroe's draft stock. But yeah, Milroe, Anthony Richardson, I like that comp. I like that comp a lot. Wilson steps back, winds up a deep ball, gives Pickens another jump ball opportunity. This time he can't get it. 2nd and 20 now for Pittsburgh. Jalen Mills talking shit to George Pickens. I don't know if I don't know if Pickens is used to DBs being able to go toe-to-toe with him, but Jalen Mills will talk shit. Okay, Cam Ward. This one is interesting. I think the difficulty with the Cam Ward evaluation is he came from Washington State, right? I want to make sure I have that right. I think he came from Washington State. Cam Ward. Bro, I looked up Cam Ward and it's showing me a hockey player, a goalie. What the hell, bro? I understand that I'm in Canada right now, but trust me, I am not trying to look up that goalie. Okay, Cam Ward, American football. Yeah, he came from Washington State. So, and Washington State is not really a place you can evaluate a quarterback from because they just throw the ball so much, if I have it right. So you're really just looking at the Miami. They had 2 Jets just started punching the shit out of Pickens there. Oh my god. That's not a peanut punch. That's just a punch. But yeah, no. So you're just talking about the Miami stuff this year, right? And is he playing bad competition? Well, Miami's not in the SEC, right? Like the SEC is the standard for college football. He doesn't play in a really great conference. So to be honest, we'll see for Cam Ward. We'll see when he plays high level competition in the playoff, in the college football playoff. That's when we're really going to see. But yeah, in terms of what he's done so far, I like him. I think he's played pretty well. But I'm not going to gas up production against bad teams. We'll see what happens when he plays in the playoffs. Or I guess they say just the playoff. But yeah, no, we'll see then. But yeah, okay. To the other side of this matchup, the Bengals. I think they've won 2 games in a row. And as an Eagles fan who's about to see the Bengals next week, I'm so happy they won 2 games in a row. Because this team is too ass to win 3 games in a row. So I feel like the Eagles are going to get the W next week for that reason alone. But yeah, man, Cincinnati, the game that they had, stinky. Burrow, 180 passing yards. Chase Brown, leading rusher, less than 3 yards a carry. They struggled offensively against Cleveland's defense. They beat the Browns by 7, but they didn't have a 10-point swing in one play the way the Eagles did. Yeah, I don't know. It'll be interesting to see how this team matches up against the Eagles defense. It'll be a slightly better test for the Eagles defense than the last 2 weeks have been. But yeah, Cincinnati's team is not particularly good. If I'm looking at the stats here, DTR had 82. Winston had 67. So put those two stats together. DTR and Jameis Winston didn't play the entire game, and they kind of got up to Joe Burrow's passing yards in this game. It's not like you could say, oh, the Bengals were a better team, and they were running the ball, so that's probably why his stats were bad in terms of passing yards. No. The Bengals could not run the ball. They just played like shit offensively because they're 3-4. But to be honest, they're a pretty bad football team, man. This team sucks. Yep. This is it. Time to shine. This is it. Joe Mixon is actually a pretty good football player. He may have not got credit for it because the Bengals offense has stars, and we're always going to look at Burrow and Chase and even probably T. Higgins. But Mixon is very good at football. And he's been doing numbers in Houston for a reason, bro. That's a good football player. And yeah, you can see that they're suffering without having him. Speaking of Joe Mixon, the next game is Texans-Packers. The homie Gale isn't here, which is our resident Packers fan. So I might, you know what? No, I'll just talk about the game regardless. I lied. This game is back. Jets Steelers is back, so we'll get back to Texans Packers. But yeah, Mixon is 100% crushing it in Houston. Have him on a fantasy team, and I'm very happy I drafted him. Toss to Breece Hall, who gets caught by, I think that's Peyton Wilson. Yeah, hell of a linebacker, man. That guy looks really good as a rookie. And he's talking trash to Devontae. That's hilarious. Oh, Gale is here. Let's go. Okay, yeah. We will get some Packers fan input to that game. Second and 7 for the Jets. Rodgers dials up a back shoulder to Alan Lazard, and the chemistry is clear. That was a quarterback and a wide receiver on the same page there. What a dime. Did he get hurt on that play? Maybe not. But yes, 2-minute warning here. How many games do we have left? You know what? We don't have that many, so we might be able to rip these off before halftime. But Texans, Packers, 24-20. When it comes to Houston side of things, like I've been beating this drum for about a month now, but guys, the Texans don't look that good yet. They last year they obviously started not that great, but that's what we expected. They finished the year really, really strong. And again, people treated them like they're just going to pick up where they left off. But to be honest, they're a better team this year, so their record is better. But I don't think Houston's particularly played great ball yet. And that shows you just how good they could be if they do get around to playing great ball. But it hasn't happened yet. We're really getting to it here. Mixon and Collins have been carrying when they played. Mixon, I think, has only really had 3 opportunities to carry, but he's done it every time. Nico Collins was literally leading the league in receiving. The offense hasn't really done it. And again, I'm going to go result by result, right? Where is Houston? Week 1, you beat the Week 1, you beat the Colts by 2. This was the Anthony Richardson Colts, who we're seeing haven't been playing the best ball. But you know what? It's a divisional game, whatever. Week 2, you beat the Bears by 6. You're supposed to be a lot better than the Bears. Again, the Bears are maybe not as bad as... Actually, no, I lied. At that point, the Bears were pretty bad. At that point, the Bears could not run the ball at all or protect Caleb Williams. So weeks 1 and 2, you beat teams that were playing bad ball at the time by 8 points in total. Week 3, you get blown out by the Vikings. Week 4, you beat the Jaguars by 4. The Bills, you beat them by 3. You know what? Good game. Bills are a good opponent. Patriots, yes, you beat them by 20. However, Stroud threw for less than 200 yards, man. Mixon had the running backs had about 180 on the ground, but you can chalk that up to the Patriots rush defense just not being good, or the Patriots just generally not being good. Like, yes, they beat the Patriots by 20. That's not a particularly impressive thing. So obviously, you look at this last man. Houston has not looked. They have the record. They're 5-2, but they are not playing the ball they were playing at the end of last year. I do think that they will turn. They will figure out how to get back there, and they have better players now, so they should be even better. But we just have to stop talking like that's who they are right now, because they're not. Again, it's who I think they're gonna be, but we have to see it first before we take that stuff for granted. And yeah, in terms of the other side of this matchup, for the Packers, it's a really great win. It's a really great win. I think what was their record before this game? They were 4-2. I think 4-3 would have been harsh for their record. Packers just have a lot of targets, man. Like I said, oh shit, we got raided. Real quick before I address the raid, I mentioned last week when the Packers, when you look at their depth chart, bro, there's so many people that Jordan Love throws to. They have a lot of different weapons, and he really gets everybody involved. Oh shit, Aaron Rodgers threw a pick. Oh shit, Pittsburgh. Oh shit, that's the momentum swing they needed if they get points before the half. But shout out to Sarcasm City with the raid. For those of you who aren't familiar with who I am, my name is Alam. I run a channel called In Motion Football. This is not the football you guys are accustomed to hearing about at Sarcasm City. We watch American football here. I got the Sunday Night Football matchup on my TV. We're running a watch along for Jets against Steelers. And we're recapping the day of football that happened today. So shout out to everybody that's tuning in. If you are familiar with this kind of football and you enjoy the sport, this is a great place for you to hang out with people that love the game just like you. If you're not familiar with this sport, but you'd like to be, this would be a great place to learn about the sport. Man, it's a lot of really educated football people in the chat here. Ask any questions you might have, and you'll have a handful of people to choose from with great answers. And if you don't like this kind of football at all, just hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and just go about your day as you'd like to. But yeah, shout out to everybody in here. 69 people. That's a hell of a number. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're probably going to be here for like another hour and a half. So if you guys want to do some late night viewing after the, I think it was a United and Liverpool show, it's a great place to do it. Shout out to Manj, my guy. Haven't seen you in a minute. Hope you're doing well out there in Coventry. But yeah, what were we talking about? Yeah, this game. Bad pick by Rodgers there. Threw it into a crowd. Nothing unpredictable or like difficult about that one. There was simply just a defender between him and the receiver, and he shouldn't have made that throw. If you want to laugh at On for being a Chelsea fan, hit the like. Brother. I've ducked being a Chelsea fan for a long time in these internet streets. Finally, I'm around the point where I don't feel like I have to do that. So, no, you don't have to laugh at me. Oh, shit. Yo, George Pickens is a problem. But you guys don't have to laugh at me now, bro. I'm okay with the fact that I'm a Chelsea fan. Like kind of a respectable team we have for the first time in a long time. Bro, 100%. 100%. Yo, George Pickens has been a problem. It's crazy how much better he is than the rest of the Steelers receivers. There's only one receiver to worry about on the Steelers offense, and he's still a problem. You know how good you have to be to survive in this situation? When the rest of the receivers are that shit, you're going to be seeing double coverage on almost every row. Did you see Sauce jammed his knee? Damn. Did you see Tariq Woolen getting caught for using meth streams? No. Is that what he was up to? For those of you guys who don't know, meth streams is it's basically just like a site with illegal sports streams. But no, what did he do to get caught? I want to know that. What the hell did he do to get caught? But yeah, no, damn. Well, there's a backup corner now, so that's who they should be attacking with Pickens. But yeah, man, like man said, man, make sure you guys like the video and subscribe to the channel. That's the best way to support content on YouTube. If you want to support what's going on, that's the way to do it. Shout out Hashim, Chiefs Kingdom. He says, hell yeah. Only undefeated team in the league. It's looking very comfortable for Kansas City so far this year. No receivers, no running backs, but they're still getting it done. Think about how cushy things would be for them if they did have receivers and running backs. No bullshit, man. This shit's frustrating to see. 2nd and 10 for Pittsburgh here. Let's see what they can do. Couple guys go on motion. They have 2 timeouts. They can really do whatever they want to do. Oh, jump ball to Pickens, who mosses. Is that the backup DB? Because what did I just say 2 minutes ago? I said pick on the backup corner with George Pickens, and I think that's what happened, bro. He just mossed that smaller receiver there. The camera pans to Aaron Rodgers, who gave Pittsburgh the opportunity to score these points. Yup, backup cornerback got mossed right there. That's honestly, that's Russ throwing up a jump ball to DK. It looks so familiar. But yeah, aesthetically, like in terms of just purely aesthetics, nothing is as satisfying as watching a receiver jump up, catch the ball, but then hold the ball out to keep it away from a DB as he like secures the catch. Like it's like a grown ass kid playing keep away with a little ass kid. Oh man. Well, what is the stats for QB? Hold on, are you saying what are Russell Wilson's stats today? Because Russell Wilson is 8 for 17, 145, and a touchdown. So he is gonna pass that threshold, because I think Fields had only 2 games out of his 6 with more than 160 yards passing. Russell Wilson looks like he is going to get those 160 yards in this game. I think what you can see is that the 2 plays, actually no, the 4 plays in this game that I don't think the Steelers would be getting with Justin Fields are the 3 jump balls to Pickens down the field and the fade there to Pickens. I don't think Fields makes either of those plays. Granted, he's gonna make a bunch more plays than Wilson couldn't, right? In terms of running, he would make a bunch of those plays. But those 4 throws there, yeah, man. Yep. Bro, immediately, that's football 101. When a player gets injured, you go at the backup. The Niners did it today to the Chiefs as soon as, oh my God, that's a violent tackle on the returner. But yeah, who went out? Oh, I think Jalen Watson went out. And yeah, immediately the Niners picked on the backup cornerback, and they got a 40-yard pass interference. And then eventually, actually no, it was a defensive holding in a big moment, and then a 40-yard catch. They keep showing the coach failing to challenge as if it's a big deal. They scored a touchdown anyways. Garrett Wilson, bubble screen, gets tackled, and that probably takes us to halftime, people. Shout out to the 60 people tuned in. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We're out here. We're at halftime of this game, 15-13. It looked to be honest, it looked like the Jets may have had a chance to run away with the game at some point, but to be honest, the pick was huge. That interception turned the game completely. It was 15-6. The Steelers offense was really not able to do a whole lot. And that pick really changed things. It looks like offensively, the only thing the Steelers have consistently is George Pickens' goal balls. But honestly, that'll be enough if your defense can keep you in the game. But yeah, which game were we at? So I talked about the Texans side of this game. To quickly touch on the Packers side of this game, yeah, they have a lot of weapons, man. Jordan Love always throws to like 6 or 7 weapons. In terms of their running game, I think honestly it's a bit disappointing. Even though Josh Jacobs had a good average today, you put numbers to the side. If we're talking strictly about impact, bro, Aaron Jones had a better impact. You swapped out Aaron Jones for Josh Jacobs. That's a drop off in terms of impact. Bro, it's not the same. So I think they should have just kept Aaron Jones. I really like what they would have had as an offense if they had Aaron Jones. Josh Jacobs isn't bad by any means. He's a different kind of a running back, and there's things he can do that Aaron Jones can't. But I do think they messed up making that switch. But yeah, in terms of the passing targets, you got Tucker Kraft, who really looks like he's coming along. Looks like Jordan Love trusts him quite a bit. You have Musgrave, who's not even playing not playing as much because Tucker Kraft is thriving, but you have a high draft pick as a backup. You got 2 options at tight end. You have like 5 receivers. Jordan Love has plenty of targets to throw to. So yeah, the passing attack, again, is something that it should only get better as the time goes on. All these players are young. They should only get better and have more chemistry as again time goes on. But yeah, with Jordan Love, I think he threw 2 interceptions today, and it was only 1 in the last 2 games. So I think what was sticking out in my mind is that he threw 3 against Minnesota, but in the last 2 games against Arizona and LA, he did manage to only throw 1 interception. So just as long as he keeps the interceptions low, I think he's playing good football as a whole. And yeah, this was a huge win for Green Bay. You went up against, in the grand scheme of things, one of the more talented teams. It was a close game at the end. Jordan Love executed a game-winning drive at the end. They've had back-to-back quarterbacks now that you can count on to make big drives at the end of games to win games. And Jordan Love, he followed suit today. So encouraging sign for the Packers. I think the most disappointing thing for the Packers so far just has to be that their division is so good. You know, I bet they wish they were in the AFC South or something like that, but or the AFC East. But no, they're in a very competitive division. That division is going to be a bloodbath in terms of the divisional matchups. So yeah, that's the only thing you could say is disappointing about the Packers. But if you consider the fact that they were without their starting quarterback already for 2 games, and they're 5-2, having navigated that storm, they're in a good spot. Again, a young team that should only get better. And yeah, I think for Green Bay, looking at their schedule, I think they should feel very, very encouraged. Yeah, Jaguars, Lions, bye week, Bears, right? So you gotta like their chances against the Jags and the Bears. Obviously, the Lions will be a huge test, but they beat the Lions last year. That was like the turnaround in their season. We learned that that's probably a serious football team when they beat the Lions on Thanksgiving. So yeah, I was really looking forward to this game, and it was a big matchup. Great outcome for Green Bay. Seahawks, Falcons. Seahawks Falcons. I didn't watch. This is one of the games that I caught none of, so I don't know what happened in this game. But I saw that DK got carted off. I hope he's okay. If he's gone, that's half of what Seattle does offensively gone, and that probably I think guarantees that they're out of the playoffs if DK is gone. So for Seattle side of things, I was pretty harsh on Seattle for a while. I think honestly all year. I think this game is finally a game that makes me think, okay, maybe I was being too harsh on Seattle. But then again, it doesn't matter if they're without DK. But yeah, Seahawks. I would say, bro, Seahawks as a whole finally showed up, right? They had lost 3 games in a row, and maybe that set the stage for them to play a really good game because of motivation. But bro, I thought the first 3 wins of the year were all unimpressive. I thought they lost 3 games in a row. And again, I was very harsh on this team. I don't think the world of Atlanta, but to beat Atlanta by 20 at home, I think is impressive. I don't think it's gonna make me all of a sudden think Seattle's a great team, but this game compelled me to reflect on whether I was being too harsh on Seattle. It looks like they were able to run the ball pretty decently, and it looks like their defense showed up. Yo, DK got carted off the field, bro. Bro, it was bad. It was bad. I think Cousins threw 2 picks. Yeah, Cousins turned it over 3 times. I'm seeing he fumbled as well. It looks like the Falcons offense was able to move it. It was just turnovers that messed stuff up. Shout out to my guy Flawless. Appreciate you for the raid, my bro, as always. The support is, always appreciated. Like he says, man, run up the likes. Make sure you guys hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Two of the best ways to support content on YouTube. If you want to show your appreciation for what's going on, that's the best way to do so. The more you guys engage with content, the further the algorithm pushes it out. So when you see people on YouTube and you like their content and you want to help them grow their channels, but the money isn't really all that necessary. It's nice, but man, just engage with the content, and that's what'll help all of our channels grow. But yeah, in terms of Falcons Seahawks in the earlier game, to the Falcons side of things, it really messed up. That is a really messed up loss. I think the Falcons' calling card up to this point was that they were consistently in close games. I think most of their games were 1-score games. It seemed like if they played, they beat the Panthers, but even the Panthers they hung around with for too long. Like that game should have been a blowout from the beginning, and it wasn't. But yeah, Falcons, you get blown out at home. Kirk Cousins turns it over 3 times. This is probably their most disappointing game so far. They were 4-2. They had an opportunity to go 5-2, and it all went wrong. So I think if you look at Atlanta's schedule, they play Tampa Bay next. And if you think about that, bro, Tampa Bay lost in heartbreaking fashion against Atlanta a few weeks ago. So I think Tampa Bay I would bet a lot of money on them winning. That puts Atlanta at 4-4. Then they play Dallas, right, in week 9. And if you think about Dallas could go into that game after losing against the Niners. So they might be on a 2-game losing streak against Detroit and San Fran. Dallas could very well beat Atlanta just because, again, they're not that far apart as teams, and Dallas could be pretty motivated. That puts Atlanta at 4-5 going into Denver. And going into Denver, bro, Atlanta could lose to Denver. So, difficult little part of the schedule here for Atlanta. Actually, no, I lied. They go to the Saints first. Oh, they'll beat Rattler. They'll beat Spencer Rattler for sure. So yeah, I think Atlanta at 4-2 probably had a record that was a little bit above what they deserve. 4-3 definitely fits them, and I think that happens a lot in football, to be honest, where sometimes a team will just lose a game because, bro, if they like winning the game just makes their record too good for who they are. And I think that kind of a thing definitely happened here with this game. So yeah, people, Atlanta took the L. 4-3 suits them. Definitely a disappointing loss. Not really a time that they needed it. There's a very real chance they lose these next 2 games, but it is what it is, man. I think Atlanta was always a pretty average team, and now their results look like it. This game, not going to say much. The Panthers are the Panthers. We know what they are. The Commanders, credit to them for not really playing around with their food. They handled this team easily. They did not play down to their competition. They lost Jaden Daniels, and I think they still scored 13 points with Mariota. So, yeah, definitely. Again, you just credit a team for not playing down to their competition, but that's all they deserve credit for. And yeah, only 2 games left. You got Raiders and Rams. So in this game, again, this is one of the other games I didn't catch much of, but the Rams played it without their receivers, and I'm not sure if they had got their offensive tackles back yet, but I thought the Raiders looked horrible. They kicked a lot of field goals. I think they kicked 5 field goals. They got their starting quarterback knocked out of the game. That situation is a mess. The Raiders are a complete mess, and this team is going to shit. That much I can tell you. But yeah, for the Rams side of things, man, I don't think the Rams are that bad of a team. I just think their injury situation is debilitating. You have your top 2 receivers out. They had their top 2 tackles out for a while. Again, if there's any Rams fans here that know, let me know if the tackles were back for this game. They play Thursday Night Football at home against the Vikings. I think Cooper Kupp is supposed to be back for that game, but I don't think that it'll be enough. Important win for them to get to avoid being 1-5 at 2-4. You'd think if they run some wins off, maybe they could get back in the picture, but the Vikings will be a very difficult team to avoid 2-5 against. After the Vikings provided their 2-5, they then play Seattle, Miami, and New England. So definitely a chance there for the Rams to get some wins back, but yeah, they needed this one and they got it. So that brings us to our last game, Chiefs and Niners. So Chiefs versus Niners. The main takeaway is that, to be honest, both teams. So, okay, obviously the Chiefs entered this game having lost their top 2 receivers. The Niners lost their 2 receivers in the game. So this was a game without receivers, really. It was just tight ends and running backs. Even the running backs are missing, to be honest. Pacheco and McCaffrey didn't play. So, bro, this game had nothing but tight ends. So it was a game of defense. As far as that went, the Chiefs defense did a lot better. And then simply Patrick Mahomes outdueled Purdy because Mahomes is an all-time GOAT and Purdy is just the guy. So that was the main difference here. In a weaponless game, the Chiefs have the defense and the quarterback to figure out that kind of a situation. The Niners really, really depend on their weapons as a football team. One of the big takeaways, obviously, is that Ayuk is out for the year. That's really fucked up, bro. That's really fucked up for the Niners because they made a big commitment financially. They're going to have to rely on him next year because even if they're going to have to pay Purdy at the end of the year. And then even when they do pay Purdy, it'll probably be a gradual increase to him getting paid a lot of money. But even when something like that happens, right? Like Purdy is going to give them maybe a couple more years of having a low quarterback cap hit. But, during that time, you have Ayuk and Javon Hargrave eating up big money and then probably not producing. So in a situation where you really got to have the money that you spent being completely maximized, you already look at Brandon Ayuk as a guy who could underperform his deal because he's going to be coming off a torn ACL. So that's a disaster for San Fran in the short and the long term. We don't know what the hell is going to happen with Christian McCaffrey. The Niners effectively cooked, man. It's going to get ugly for them this year. They're 3-4. They played Dallas off a bye week. So while I don't think Dallas is anything special, off a bye week, they could beat San Fran, a team they definitely hate. So there's a decent chance that that team could be 3-5. As for the Chiefs, honestly, the Chiefs side of things, not really much to say other than man, they're really good. Like Spagnuolo, Andy Reid, and Patrick Mahomes are all timers at what they do. And the Chiefs don't have to have great pieces around them to make things happen. Garrett Wilson, big catch on 1st and 15. Fucks around and finds out though. Spends a bunch of time just honestly dancing in the same spot, trying to put a move on the guy beside him. All that dancing lets Peyton Wilson close the space between them and really get a good hit on him. So I think that's Wilson on Wilson crime. Peyton Wilson on Garrett Wilson. But yeah, first down for the Jets at their own 42. Handoff to Brees Hall. That's been fairly successful in this game so far. Oh, yo, I was looking at this. The Chiefs have a really good schedule, man. The Chiefs had a lot of their tests early. The Chiefs at 6-0. They play the Raiders, the Bucks, the Broncos, the Bills, the Panthers, the Raiders, the Chargers, the Browns, the Texans, the Steelers, and the Broncos. So their biggest tests from this point onwards are Buffalo, Houston, Tampa Bay, and the Chargers. So, again, honestly, 17-0 candidates, which is hilarious considering how much has gone wrong for them so far. But yeah, on the Niners side of things, man, yeah, injuries have ruined their season. Javon Hargrave, Christian McCaffrey, Brandon Ayuk. It's gone all wrong. But yeah, quick slant to Garrett Wilson gets them across midfield. They're in 3rd and short now. 3rd and 2. Drops back. Oh, he missed Devontae again. This is the 3rd time that him and Devontae have looked like completely not on the same page. Holy shit. And he was rushed a little bit by Highsmith, but not enough to completely throw him off that badly. Are they going for it here? No, they're punting. Well, all right. The Jets, who were up 15-6 and seemingly had a lot of momentum at the end of the first half, cannot get any momentum back after Rodgers threw it all away with an interception in the last 2 minutes. So Pittsburgh's offense steps onto the field, a chance to maybe get the lead back. They haven't led in this game since the game was 3-0 Pittsburgh. Still need to get Pacheco and Hollywood for the playoffs if we can. So I think Pacheco is going to be back before then. Hollywood, I'm not sure. But maybe he is. I'm not sure. Is Hollywood a candidate to come back? Because I was under the impression that he's out for the year, but there's a chance I'm wrong about that. But yeah, now that we've run through the games, I'm trying to think. To be honest, this game is too good of a game to predict the season through. I don't think I have it in me. Maybe it's towards the end of the year. Okay, shit. I didn't even know that was a possibility. That's good. Yo, here's the thing. Time to shine. Do you think they need to trade for a receiver? Because 2 of the options are already gone. With the Bills and the Jets trading for receivers. So are there realistic candidates that you see out there? Because I think who else is on the market? Let me see. NFL trade deadline candidates. Okay, let's see who's out here. Deontay Johnson. Oh man, the receiver options look dusty. Yeah, Cooper Kupp, this is an easy call, but I don't think they're going to trade him. Bro, this article I just opened up, these are the receivers it lists on the trade block. Mike Williams from the Jets, Jalen Hyatt from the Giants, Darius Slayton from the Giants, Christian Kirk, and Deontay Johnson. Honestly, I think Deontay Johnson's a pretty good player. I think Deontay Johnson would help. I wouldn't trade for any other guys. If you're talking about a Darius Slayton or a Christian Kirk, just roll with the guys you have. Yeah, Deontay Johnson is the one. Hand off to Najee. And Najee picks up about 4 on first down. Second and 7 here. Wilson drops back, lots of pressure. Just gets it out at the last minute to Najee. That's basically a throwaway, though. Don't think we'll do anything. Where's Reddick going? Yo, Reddick, they gave him a short-term deal this morning. He's coming back to the Jets. So they basically gave him a deal that compensates him for his fines. So they can't waive his fines, they're mandatory fines, but they gave him a 1-year deal that ups his salary, his base salary, to make up for the fines he's about to pay. And they gave him incentives to let him earn even more. So now Reddick is going back to the Jets. Oh shit, Pickens. Oh, what a catch. Oh my God, George Pickens is so good at football, man. Oh my God, this guy is so good. You can see there, that's the reason they made the quarterback change. Because Justin Fields is not giving Pickens these chances to catch the ball. The guy caught the ball off the defender. It was a bounce pass off the defender's shoulder pads. Yo. Yeah, and this is the tough part about talking about football, because I got to sit here and I want to talk about his ball skills as if that's not the most like AO thing to talk about ever. But yo, it's actually what it is. Like, pause, but guy has unreal ball skills. When the ball's in the air, the ability to locate and react to where it is unreal. Second and 9. We're at the edge of field goal range. So at the very minimum, the Steelers should get a chance to kick a field goal to take the lead. 10.5 minutes to go. Najee picks up a few yards on second down. We're going to have a third down and short to intermediate here. Man, if the Jets lose this game and go to 2-5, yo, this is real shit, flawless. Like, that's actually the phrase. Like, that's the way they talk about it. That's the appropriate phrase. There's no because I'm trying to think, like, what's the other term to talk about what I want to talk about? Like, instinct when the ball is in the air. You have to use too many words. The term is ball skills. It just sounds outrageous to talk about. Like, these are the kinds of things that there's a reason why Cam and Mace have a sports show. And it's to shed light on how much rewording is required in sports. But yeah, man, if the Jets go 2-5 after firing a coach, trading for Devontae Adams, and paying Hassan Reddick, yo, this team is a complete disaster. 2-5 after that much investment. Jaylen Warren runs it down to the 2-yard line. Yo, it looks like Pittsburgh is gonna get a touchdown here. God damn. Sauce Gardner is back in the game. I almost said Sauce Walker. Sauce Gardner is back in the game. But it seems to not matter. Handoff to Warren. In what seems like it would be an obvious situation for Najee to get the ball. But sure, whatever. We'll just run Warren up the middle with no space. We're not going to preview the games next week because I have a couple other streams I could do that on. Like on Thursday, I'll probably do that. But just a heads up, people, the games suck. The games look really, really shit next week. Wilson, jump ball to Pickens, who honestly is so good, he almost catches that. Like I said, refer this comment, bro. I don't like how often they put me in a situation where I have to talk about it. But, bro, look at the ball skills to even catch that out of bounds. It's not going to count. But, yo, that's unreal. It's unreal how he's able to catch that from that situation. Third and goal from the 3. Wilson looks left. Throws it to, I don't know who number 11 is. Is that Roman Wilson? Is he healthy? But he seemed to get tripped up on a crossing route. No, that's Van Jefferson. Fucking Van Jefferson in 2024, man. What is this? Yeah, he feet get tangled up with Jalen Mills there. And they're going to kick another fucking field goal, man. After all this shit, they get a field goal to go up 1. Yo, nobody wants to win this game. Bro, it's on the screen for a reason, man. I need people to understand that it's not ideal. Like, it's not ideal that the most prominent thing happening in the game involves the term ball skills, because then it puts me in a situation where I have to refer to it. But god damn, bro, this sport is really bad for stuff like that. In times like this, Flawless, you have to be grateful that Steve hasn't been able to do NFL watch-alongs on Sarcasm City's playback last 2 weeks. Because Steve, with this sport, would have some of the most outrageous stuff to say. But I just realized that Flawless is in a mod, which is mad. So I'm about to fix that right now. Steve is wilder on the NFL playbacks. Yeah, yo, Steve is on some other shit for the NFL streams on playback. Like, he'll just yell over the most normal shit. Like, somebody will just make a normal play, and he just starts yelling about it like the greatest shit in the world just happened. But yeah, hopefully he's down to run it next Sunday, because we're gonna need it, bro. As NFL fans, we're gonna need each other to get through this next week of games. Yo, Joel, I don't know if you have it open or like close by. But bro, look at the 1 o'clock games next week. What is the best 1 o'clock game? Is it Eagles Bengals? Because if so, bro, that's ass low key. That should be a tie. Yeah, Steve a wild boy, 100%. Dope. We will be there, people. So for the 52 people watching, if you guys like American football, next Sunday, basically all throughout the day, me and Steve will be on Sarcasm City's playback, watching NFL games. Some of you guys can watch, football to start the day, and then American football with me and Steve later. I think Bucks Falcons. Okay. Who am I taking, bro? I'm still taking Caleb because I still think he has greater ability. But Daniels might have more like know-how right now. I think Caleb is still kind of understanding how to use his ability, but bro, his ability is superior. Like what Caleb Williams has in his locker, I guess I could borrow a European football phrase. What Caleb Williams has in his locker is special stuff. Say word. That'd be dope. I'll definitely hit you up about that. We can run that for the people. Because on my channel, I always do Sunday nights. So it'll be some more content for the middle of the day. And yeah, yo, I'm so Flawless. I'm kind of going all out for the next year on this channel to try to get monetized because when I got the raid from this really big NFL YouTuber with like 700,000 subs, right? I tagged the video like, oh, Tom Grassi, that's his name, like Tom Grassi raid. And that video got so much viewership after. It's, I think, almost at like 3K views. The watch time on that one video is almost like at 3,500 hours. So I already have the watch hours for monetization. I just need to go off to try to get the subs. And obviously for the monetization, it counts watch hours in the last year. So I'm on the clock now, bro. I have like 11 months. I'm going to try to do everything I can. Yo, Garrett Wilson. Oh my God. Yo, my guy's out here playing volleyball on a football field. This is going to be a pick six, isn't it? Oh my God. He's going to get tackled at the 1. Bro, what is New York doing? Perfectly thrown pass. Hits the receiver right in his hands. And he volleys it up to the DB. That's crazy. What the hell did I just watch? But yeah, yo, I'm going all out to try to get as many subs as I can in the next 11 months. Cause yo, that's a really unique that's a really unique opportunity, man. The man basically blessed me with the watch time. Yo, nah, that's the goal, and too, it's like it's a little bit. It feels like an uphill battle at times because this kind of content is definitely like it's like a more like the football style of fan content is so unique that I don't think North American sports fans are still quite used to it. So it feels like the market for this kind of content here is not that big yet, but I think it's such a good style of content. It'll catch on, one, as time goes on, but two, as more North Americans get into European football and they start to interact with these kind of things, they're going to kind of realize how dope this kind of interactive, like community oriented fan content is. So I think it'll get easier and easier to grow as time goes on. But yeah, anytime you want to go live on both, just let me know. It's an uphill battle, but you gotta get there. 100%. 100%. Yo, the thing is like the reason that I decided I actually wanted to do this, like, and fully committed to it, is because I realized, like, yeah, I'm gonna watch the games anyways. I'm gonna put the time into being in front of the screen regardless. So like it's not really taking that much out of me to do this. I'm setting the time aside to watch the game anyways. To just do a little bit more while I'm watching the game is not really that huge of an issue. So the content's definitely just never gonna stop. Is never gonna stop because I'm never gonna stop watching the games. So once I felt like I knew for sure, like bro, 5, 10 years, I can just do this. I'm like, you know what? It'll probably pay off the consistency at some point. And that being said, I only think I've been like properly consistent at this stuff for like 2 months now. Like I've been doing this channel for like a year, but it hasn't been consistent until the last 2 years. So yeah, that's what we're doing, people. Nonstop content. I came up with the first show on this channel a couple weeks ago. It's every Tuesday at around 8 or 9, depending on when I get home from work. But yeah, people, we will be here. We will be here. But yeah, man, the help as always is really appreciated, Flawless. Yeah, I definitely don't think I would be doing this if I didn't get the opportunity at Sarcasm City to just get comfortable with this stuff. So yeah, no, that opportunity is definitely priceless. But yeah, people, this game took a turn. I'll see if Playback can get the games on there so you and your viewers are all synced up, no spoilers. Word, okay, that'd be nice. I'm trying to think because I think Playback, they obviously run the NBA stuff through League Pass. I think the NFL's equivalent of League Pass is owned by somebody else. So I don't know. Yo, what happened here? Who's hurt? I can't see who's hurt. Yo, they cut from commercial to show the replay of the guy getting hurt and then cut to another commercial. This is outrageous. They're starting to add different broadcasters to playback. Okay, that's dope. Cause yeah, I'm definitely down to do like a simulcast to this channel. It'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, goddamn, man! Like this break in this game, I don't even have any games to recap. Is there any games you guys want to talk about that happened, or any topics or anything? Just running through the results. Actually, I lied. We can maybe talk a little bit more about tomorrow. This game, Buccaneers Ravens. I'm really looking forward to that one. Cardinals Chargers. Can't say the same about that matchup, but quietly, I think Tampa Bay, they have Vita Vea. Vita Vea against Derrick Henry, that's a crazy matchup, man. You're talking about not just a matchup between good and good, but it's almost like the same kind of good. Like sheer just power against sheer power. It's like trying to think of a comparison. But you know how they say David against Goliath? But this is just Goliath against Goliath. Vita Vea against Derrick Henry is going to be something special for sure. But even in terms of the teams as a whole, Grossi started time 9 years ago. He says he loves the game and being consistent is what grew his channel. Initially no one was watching. So that's the thing, right? Like Gail, this is why I'm so grateful for like somebody like Flawless, because to be honest, early on when nobody is supposed to be watching, like I always had a few people watching because people knew me from Sarcasm City and plus stuff like redirects. So between those two things, I almost think I got to skip the phase where nobody was watching. So that's the thing. Like I already feel like, look, if I'm somebody who even like I have the privilege of getting to skip that, like I have less of an excuse to stop trying, right? Like it's almost like that makes me feel guilty if I ever decided to stop doing this. But yeah, man, like it's about being consistent. It's about people being, damn, bro, that offensive lineman got hurt. I didn't even see what happened to him. I didn't even see if he landed on something or if something got twisted up. But man, I hope he's okay. They got the Pittsburgh paramedics out there, and he's all stretchered up. I don't even know who that is. 65 on the Jets. 65 Jets. Xavier Newman. I don't know if he's a backup or a starter. Those game being consistent is what grew. Yeah. Yo, they really just cut to this man getting injured and then cut to commercial again. This is nasty business right here. This is why you need stuff like watchalongs, because on TV, bro, they will feed you nothing but bullshit. So this is like a generational thing I'm realizing too, right? Because when I'm watching sports, I'm either watching a watchalong or like listening to a watch along, or I'm listening to something, right? So then when commercials happen on TV, a lot of the times, like my dad or somebody will be watching the commercial and try to talk to me about something that happened in the commercial. And I'll be like, bro, I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what happened. I was not listening or watching. Like in 2024, yo, I don't watch commercials. I'm I'm in my phone every chance I get. Like I'm maximizing my time. So this is the other thing about watch alongs is like really it lets you just fuck commercials off of your time spent. Cause tell me how this television broadcast couldn't have cut to a studio or to some people talking for this time, as opposed to having us just look at the field and look at a man getting injured and commercials for like a solid 10 minutes. Okay, well, finally the game starts up again. 7:22 to go in the third. Fuck, this game is gonna run close to midnight. God damn, I'm gonna be sleepy as hell at work tomorrow. Pittsburgh lines up at the goal line. Russell Wilson quarterback sneak. I think he gets stuffed here. I don't think he made it. Yeah, he's short. He's short. Well, they're calling it a touchdown, so I guess he wasn't short. Also, yo, Flawless, I've been meaning to ask. Um, I think there was an NBA stream that happened. There was, I think it was the playoffs. Either it was before last year or it was before the playoffs. But there was a guy on the preview. I think his name was Cameron, and he was a Raptors fan. And I had been meaning to ask for a while, yo, who is that? Because I'd love to get in touch with him. I thought he was pretty good to do basketball stuff, but I forget who it was. So if you're still here, Flawless, if you remember who that was as well, yeah, I'd love to get in touch. And then I remember somebody from Bayesian Reds also put in the chat when we did the Drake and Kendrick stream. They're like, "Oh, I'm from Toronto as well. Like, we can do content." So there's a couple people I've been meaning to reach out to. Oh, say word. Oh, I didn't know he was on the Football Terrace. What channel does he stream with? Or does he have his own channel? Yeah, I just want to know how to reach out. Ah, let's go. Okay, see, I got options. Yo, Russell Wilson's acting like he has handshakes with his teammates, but they don't fuck with you like that. Okay, he's on Twitter? Say less. That's good enough. So Pittsburgh's up 8 points. As weird of a game as this has been, I don't like. I'm sure the Jets will have a lead at some point because this game's just been chaos. Brees Hall has 92 receiving yards, guys. In Devontae Adams' Jets debut, nobody has more than 34 yards receiving except Brees Hall, who has 93. Brees Hall has 93 receiving yards, and the rest of the Jets receivers have 91. Actually, scratch that. The rest of the Jets team has 91. Literally, the only thing the Jets offense has had going on is Brees Hall's 4 receptions. I didn't know it was like that. It didn't feel like their offense was that stinky or that like one-dimensional. But it looks like the Jets offense only has one thing going on. Similarly, though, Pittsburgh's offense only has one thing going too. It's George Pickens. So this is the George Pickens against Brees Hall in the air matchup. That's hilarious. Who would have expected that? This is a duel. Low-key, it's one-on-one. But yeah, 50 people tapped in right now. Shout out to you guys for watching along with us. We got about a quarter and a half to go. Make sure you guys hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. 2 really, really, really important ways that channels grow is those 2 forms of engagement. So if you want to support what's going on, that's the best way to do it. Brees Hall up the middle. 5 yards. So they got that's a pretty experienced backup. He's played 25 games, but they have a new offensive lineman out there with the last guy being hurt. Steelers bring the blitz on 2nd and 5. Rodgers gets it out quickly to Lazard, about 17 yards on a crossing route. Lazard looks a bit banged up. I think the last 2 Jets drives, they ended with interceptions, but I don't know if they got first downs. I feel like this is the first down for the Jets in a long time, so that's good for them. Almost at midfield. Steelers defense is calling for a false start, but they're not going to get it. Hand off to Brees Hall. Oh shit, he has space. Damn. So athletic, man. So athletic. Gets 13 yards just with ease. If you open up even just a little bit of space for him to run, that's a little bit is enough. Rodgers. Oh shit. Oh shit. The pass rush got home so quickly, but he had the right idea there. Just dumping it off to Brees Hall. Unfortunately, Brees Hall, I don't think. I mean, the pass was a bit too far. I also don't think Brees Hall expected the ball to come that quickly, though. Alex Highsmith did fall into Rodgers' ankle. But Rodgers is okay. 2nd and 10. Hand off to Braylon Allen. Gets them in third and manageable. I always think running the ball on 2nd and 10 is tough because your chances of ending up in third and long are pretty decent, right? Like you have to get 4 yards or more. And then what is your prize for getting 4 yards? You're still in third and intermediate. Like your chances of getting into third and like advantageous are very low. Like you're almost conceding, hey, let's have a difficult third down when you run on 2nd and 10. Oh, dump off to Brees Hall, who gets it down to, I think, about 4th and 1. Down 8. I think the Jets will definitely go for this. Oh, actually, fuck that. Forget the score. With their kicker, they're definitely going for this. Got you, bro. I appreciate you, Flaws. Take care, man. You're up fucking late, man. Enjoy your sleep. 4th and 1. Rodgers steps back, finds Mike Williams. He did not fall down on the route this time. He stayed on his feet and picked up a big chunk of yards on 4th and 1. Quick pass there to not really to completely take out the pass rush from the game. Oh yeah, injuries completely zapped him of his ability, man. Even when he was healthy, right? He at his best, he was a jump ball candidate down this like down the on the perimeter of the field. Like not really in the slot ever, just I'm going to be on the hashes and I'm going to run down the field and just throw me jump balls. He was damn good at it, but bro, when your skill involves athleticism and you get his type of back issues, yeah, you're cooked. So yeah, I mean, he's what? He's one more injury away from being Devontae Parker. Like soon come, bro. He will be there soon. Take care, time to shine, man. You're up late too. You're up really late too. I appreciate it, bro. I'll catch you later. I know a lot of the times I stream, it's gonna be super late for you, but so it's always good to see you, man. We will be here. We will be here Wednesday. Raptors. Fuck. Who do they play? Cleveland. We will be here. Bit of chaos there results in the Jets burning a timeout. Second and 10 from the 17. Play action fake and a quick pass to Devontae is batted at the line by TJ Watt. Morgan Moses can't impact TJ at all on that play, who rushed right into the passing lane. Nothing much, Aaron. God damn, these yawns. Nothing much Aaron Rodgers can do about that at all. He throws a jump ball to Mike Williams on 3rd and 10. My issue there is that First of all, that's Joey Porter Jr. there. You're picking on Pittsburgh's best corner. You're picking on Pittsburgh's best corner with your third best receiver. And he made that decision early on. There's also a second defender that ended up being there. So you're throwing into double coverage with Joey Porter being one of the defenders to Mike Williams. There's no way that was the best thing that could have happened on that play. Oh my God, it gets blocked. Yo, the Jets can't even get a field goal to go right. And after getting one block earlier on what was a controversial penalty, they get a real block that counts this time, and the special teams coordinator is jacked up. That's a huge block too, man. Keeps it at an 8-point game. Pittsburgh can, play Pittsburgh football here. Oh my God. There's like 3 guys that could have blocked that. There's like 3 dudes that could have blocked that, man. They did a great job. Hold on. I swear there's some type of rule about not being able to disturb a holder or something. I feel like they got in the way of the holder. What a block there, though. First and 10, Pittsburgh. Oh, it happened again. This is the third time again. Play action, rollout, dump off to Darnell Washington. This time to the opposite side of the field. But I feel like they're going to keep going to that well until the Jets make some type of an adjustment. But, I mean, on that play, they only got 2 yards out of it. I think they got 10 plus yards both of the first 2 times. So, yeah, that time it didn't work. Aaron Rodgers ruined the whole game with that pick. He actually did, bro. He actually completely ruined the Jets game with that pick. And if you think about the situation too, man, under 2 minutes, up 9, you need okay, chances, obviously if you get a touchdown, that's amazing. Your chances of getting a touchdown is not that great. The benefit of a field goal is only so great. Like your potential for bad is greater than your potential for good. Like the worst case scenario is more dangerous than the best case scenario is good, or like the realistic best case scenario. So, man, it's like that's a young quarterback mistake to make. A veteran quarterback can't be doing something like that. Russell Wilson scrambles, finds Jalen Warren, who puts a great move on a Jets defender and gets 13 yards there. Okay. Do we want to say that if Pittsburgh gets a field goal, this game's over? Because just the flow of the game kind of makes me feel that I don't know that the Jets have a 14-point comeback in them. 2-5 New York Jets. First and 10 for Pittsburgh. 1:06 to go in the third. So this game is going to run late, people. This game is going to run late. Yeah, I'm seeing. I just saw on the timeline that the New York Liberty won the WNBA championship. I'm seeing that the referees fucked up a bunch of calls though, so that's tough. Uh, to be honest, I definitely would be watching that game if we didn't have this to do. I actually thought about making it a simulcast, like two streams. Actually, no, one stream that gets broadcasted to my basketball channel and the football channel, where I have two screens set up to watch both games. But then I'm like, you know what? That's actually too much chaos, and I'm probably a little bit too sleepy to do all that. So I decided we'll stick to one game, and more importantly, we'll stick to one channel, and that's the channel that I'm on, like that I'm completely trying to just get as many subs as possible. Sabrina went 1 for 19. That's what the streets are saying, man. I follow Hater Central on Twitter now. That's what I saw. Hater Central had a lot of fun with that. Also, let me tap in. What happened in the baseball game? Did the Dodgers win? Oh, the Dodgers are up 7-4 in the eighth. Oh, yo, Dodgers and Yankees World Series might have me tapping back into baseball. That might be happening, people. I'll put it this way though. I don't think I could watch whole games yet. I think if the series were to get to 2-2, I could watch whole games. I'll probably tap into the seventh innings of these games if they're close games. But yeah, man, the Yankees Dodgers with the set of players that are on those teams, New York versus LA, it will be special stuff. But yeah, this game's going into the fourth quarter. We got an 8-point game. It was. Hold on. When is the last time the Jets have scored? I feel like it's been a good 16, 17 minutes they haven't scored. Yeah, it's been a weird game. I feel like a Pittsburgh field goal gets it done. Oh my god, Cowboys Niners is the. Oh yeah, like I mentioned it before, but I'm just realizing Cowboys Niners is going to be Sunday Night Football. Am I do am I off for this game is so long. Gail, a lot of the times these games end at around 11:20. This game's probably going to end at around 11:40. It's been a long game. Obviously, there was about a 10. I think there was like a 10-minute period where the player was down being stretchered off, so that's a part of it. Oh shit! Najee found some light. Najee down the sideline for about 25 yards. I was kind of processing it as the play was happening. I'm like, Najee is in open space, but I'm not like excited. Like when George Pickens was making those catches, I was like, oh shit. You could probably hear it in my voice. But Najee is just so like slow that he's in the open field and he's rumbling, but it's not like, oh my god, Najee Harris is in the open field. It's like, oh, he's going down the sideline. Let's see how many yards he gets. Um to be honest, I think he's faring about as well as you could fare as a running back with as little explosiveness and like straight line speed. Up the middle for 4 more yards. Um yeah. I think if the Steelers close this out with a touchdown here, that you can look back at that big long run by Najee Harris as really what put the Jets away. Second and 6. Pretty big formation here. Handoff to Najee. Oh shit, they're just bludgeoning the Jets defense. I feel like they took a playbook out of the Bills game last week, because if you think about what the Bills did, actually I don't think I ever talked about the Bills last week. No, I did. The Bills did not have James Cook. They had the rookie Ray Davis, and they had who else? Ty Johnson, and they ran. Oh, actually, did they? I don't even think they had Ty Johnson. I feel like they had somebody else. But yeah, they ran all over the Jets' run defense. All over the Jets' run defense without their starter. So that made me kind of concerned. And it looks like Pittsburgh here is committed to the same game plan of just attacking the run defense. But yeah, let me look at the stats, because I remember the stats being crazy, but I don't remember what the stats were. Okay, I was wrong though. It was Ty Johnson. So yeah, Bills running backs had 24 carries for 130 yards, averaging over 5 yards a carry. So 24 rushes for over 5 yards a carry with backup running backs. So yeah, pretty easy to understand why Pittsburgh's approach to this game would be to run the hell out of the ball. And it kind of feels like now, if the Jets don't figure this out, it's going to be everybody's game plan who can do the game plan. So let's see. The Jets. Next game is against the Patriots. The Patriots aren't quite capable of doing that. Houston is going to bludgeon them. The Cardinals, I don't think they can. But the Colts, if they have Jonathan Taylor, they can bludgeon them. It's a good thing the Jets don't play the Ravens, because Derrick Henry might rush for 300 against them. Russell Wilson to Van Jefferson, and the Steelers open up a 14-point lead with a chance to make it a 15-point lead. Yeah, this game is over, people. The Jets are not coming back. Aaron Rodgers, man, you threw the game away. When the game was 15-6, all was well, and one interception later, the Steelers on what, a 20? This is going to be a 24-0 run. Yeah, 24-0 run, 3 touchdowns and a field goal, 30-15. So I think I picked the Steelers to win this game because their record as a home underdog is crazy. I remember Murtaza was actually explaining this last year, but if you look at the Steelers' records, when they're a home underdog, they kill it. When they're a road favorite, they usually lose. It's a kind of an interesting dynamic they have going on. But shit, man, yeah, the Steelers 5-2. It kind of puts pressure on Baltimore to have to win tomorrow. At the same time, though, even if Baltimore loses, I still have them beating out Pittsburgh for that division. But yeah, Pittsburgh 5-2 helps their wild card hopes a lot, because if they're competing against teams like the Colts and the Jets and the Dolphins, I don't think those teams can catch them. So we will see Pittsburgh in the playoffs, people. For what it's worth, I do think they'll lose in the wild card round, but they'll be there at least. Yeah, I'm looking at the playoff picture here. So there's only 3 teams with less than 2 losses. So that's a pretty good sign for parity. Only 4 teams with less than 2 wins. So you're not really seeing a lot of teams with these drastic or like these like really lopsided records. You got the Titans at 1-5, who maybe things could be different for them if they had even like below average quarterbacking, anything above ass. The Browns, complete mess, but literally they were a playoff team last year and they're returning most of that team. Panthers 1-6, you know what? They've earned that. Patriots 1-6, they've earned that too. What are their chances for wins? So the Patriots play the Titans. That's an opportunity. They play the Cardinals, which you could also say is an opportunity, but I think outside of the Cardinals and the Titans, I don't know. Patriots might finish 1-16. $12:09 to go in the fourth. Aaron Rodgers and the Jets are down 2 scores, so I think we're going to probably see some aggressive play calling at some point. They start with a handoff to Brees Hall, which goes for -2 yards. Not how you want to start your comeback in the fourth quarter, but they'll have to get into they're in an obvious passing down here. They're just in generally obvious passing situations from this point onwards. So we're really going to see how Aaron Rodgers fares against pass rushers that are going to pin their ears back and go after the quarterback. Pass defenses that are set up to take away easy stuff. And you know what? To compound the problems, they just got a false start. So 2nd and 17 for the Jets. Was that on Garrett Wilson? That's tough. Not a lot of penalties in this game. I will say that's one thing this game has had going for it. Not a lot of referee intervention. Aaron Rodgers. Oh, shit. That ball was close to getting Brees Hall smoked. It was close. Brees Hall narrowly avoided getting absolutely blown up by a safety on a slant route. Third and 12, 11 minutes to go. Rodgers steps back, tons of time, and he finds a receiver in the middle of the field. It's Alan Lazard. Looks like he was between a couple of zone defenders. Ball looked like it was a little bit low, but Lazard goes down to catch it. And it looks like Rodgers had to put his all into getting the ball there. He almost dropped it, actually. Thankfully, his legs were there to support it. But yeah, big third down conversion for the Jets. Play action fake to Brees Hall. A dump off to Conklin. Conklin is brought down by Peyton Wilson. Peyton Wilson looks like a good linebacker, man. Rookie 3rd-round pick. One of the better linebackers in the draft. They just so happen to get drafted late nowadays. But Peyton Wilson has looked really good this year. Him and Patrick Queen, they have 2 completely new linebackers. Yeah, it's definitely an upgrade for the Steelers defense. Another false start on the Jets. This time Tyron Smith. So they just seem to be very content shooting themselves in the foot. It is convenient that I left Gail's comment up here. Another quarter, this game feels very long because it's an evergreen comment. It just continues to be relevant and accurate. This game is long as hell. 2nd and 14. Rodgers, quick slant to Wilson, who makes a guy miss. And Garrett Wilson picks up about 25 yards on 2nd and 14. Let me check my fantasy matchup because I think this game effectively ended my hopes. Yeah, it's done. Oh, damn, that sucks. Yeah, going against Pickens and Breece Hall in this matchup has been tough. Rodgers finds Conklin in the flat, picks up about 6 yards. Second and 5 here for the Jets, 8:40 to go. 2 timeouts left for the Jets. Obviously, they need to score and get the ball back. They don't quite have to think about time yet, but that only applies if they're able to get 7 points here, obviously. I think in a situation like this, down 15, you go for 2 on this touchdown to see if you need a third score or not. And it looks like it kind of looks like it's a design screen. Rodgers just can't seem to get it in the hands of Breece Hall here. It looks like Pittsburgh had quite a bit of defenders in the area. Yeah, this is a drawn up screen, but 66 just can't block. Who is that on Pittsburgh? 95. Couldn't catch the name there, but 3rd and 5. Big down here. Rodgers drops back. Oh my God. He got Conklin smoked there. Tries to take, honestly, this isn't a screen, but it's a check down in the same part of the field. And that linebacker, that safety was coming downhill. And Rodgers looks like he tries to get the ball snapped early. But the referees are giving Pittsburgh a timeout here. So looks like Rodgers wanted to take advantage of some matchup that they had against Pittsburgh's defense, and the opportunity was taken away from him. So that sucks for him. But what a hit by Elliott here. Sniffing out that, to be honest, that's a really bad job by Aaron Rodgers, not knowing that safety was lurking, because he made it obvious that that's just what he's looking for. The safety didn't turn his head or position his body towards anything else. He's looking at the tight end the whole time. If you're Aaron Rodgers, you have to know enough about what's going on the field to know that tight end is not a viable option, especially with how early in the play Rodgers threw to him. Rodgers, 4th and 4, sits in the pocket. The ball's batted at the line of scrimmage, and this game is over, people. This game is over. The Jets will fall to 2-5. 95, another huge play. I got to find out who that is, because he's made game-winning plays after game-winning plays. The snuffed-out screen to Breece Hall. Oh, that's Benton, Keanu Benton from Wisconsin. Man, he blew up the screen to Breece Hall, and then he batted the ball down there on 4th down. Keanu Benton, man. Game-winning plays from him. But yeah, people. Jets will fall to 2-5. Steelers the Jets should blow it up. Hilarious, but they should blow it up. What a horrible spot to be in, man. Miami is going to be 2nd in that division at 2-4. They lost their quarterback for half of the year so far, and they're second in the division at 2-4. That's truly disgusting stuff. But yeah, I'm obviously gonna preview the games next week a little bit closer at some point, but just like quick overviews. Colts Texans, all eyes on Anthony Richardson. That's a huge game for him. Browns Ravens. You know what? Game should be a blowout for Baltimore, but I look forward to seeing what the Browns backup quarterback looks like. Very real chance that they get an upgrade on Deshaun Watson. Eagles and Bengals, kind of a battle of two underperforming, kind of at times unserious teams. Packers are only 4.5-point favorites against the Jags. That's crazy. I feel like that number should be higher. Detroit against Tennessee. I think so. Detroit are 11.5-point favorites. I think that's the biggest spread I've seen this year. And that's appropriate. They should get blown out. So as of now, the Dolphins are 3.5-point favorites, but Tua is supposed to come back. So I feel like that's gonna get that spread is gonna be bigger at some point. So if anyone here is interested in betting on the Dolphins, now is the time to do it. Because this is your best chance. This is your best chance at getting good odds. Buffalo 3-point favorites in Seattle. You know what? That's kind of an interesting matchup. Oh, Chiefs Raiders. That's interesting because the Raiders beat the Chiefs last year and we're talking shit in the offseason. I expect the Chiefs to slap the shit out of the Raiders. That's going to be a fun one. Panthers Broncos. Well, Broncos will go what? 5-3? But then they play Baltimore and Kansas City. So then that's 5-5. Giants, Steelers in primetime. But the Steelers would be 5-2. Then they'd go to 6-2 if they win that, which I don't even think is an if. Steelers, man, 6-2 going into the bye week before playing Washington, which like definitely winnable. Russell Wilson finds a wide open Calvin Austin who has enough space to get about 30 yards after the catch. And damn, I cannot believe that this game turned into a belt to ass game for Pittsburgh. They were down 15-6 with about 32 minutes left in the game, and Aaron Rodgers threw it away. But yeah, okay, Russell Wilson, I apologize. I was tripping. I see why they played you. To be honest, the jump balls to George Pickens were enough. That was enough. I saw the vision immediately. Hand off to Najee. Up the middle for 5 yards. Second and what? 2nd and 6 here. Edge of field goal range for Pittsburgh. Oh my God, Najee. Oh my God, Najee does not go down easily. No incentive for Pittsburgh to do anything else but run the clock, which I'm grateful for because I need this clock to run faster than anybody else right now. I'll tell you guys that much. Your boy is tired. I'm sure you guys can tell from all the yawning in the last like 20 minutes or so, but I'm ready to call it a day. But yeah, 3rd and 4. A toss to Warren, who has enough space to get the first down. And this clock will run even more. Okay, let me see what these rushing stats look like, because I feel like the Jets have gotten cooked. Pittsburgh's running backs, they have about 4.5 yards a carry, which is a sufficient cooking on 25 carries. Yeah, 25 carries, about 114 yards. A little over 4.5 yards a carry on that much volume, which is good. Wilson, handoff to Warren. Who gets tackled pretty violently by Javon Kinlaw. 2nd and 11. The clock is running. We just got under 4 minutes, which I'm grateful for. Thank you, Pittsburgh, who's on a 24-0 run. They were down 15-6. Then Rodgers threw a pick before the halftime, and the game hasn't been the same since. Van Jefferson in motion. A toss to Jalen Warren, who gets about 7 yards. 3rd and 4. It's a timeout for New York, I think. Or did the clock stop because he went out of bounds? I thought he made a point. No, yeah, the Jets take a timeout. So I'm thinking after the Jets make this, if they concede this first down, they burn their last timeout. So then Pittsburgh needs 2 more first downs. 2 first downs kills this game. Russell Wilson, handoff up the middle to Jalen Warren, who gets right up to the first down marker before he gets a push from his teammates. And the referees are going to mark him right at the first down marker. So he got it. Again, it's fitting that sometimes the comment that I leave up on the screen, it belongs there for a reason. And Jets should blow it up. Definitely belongs. Because, yeah, it's been here for about 8 minutes. And I feel like in the 8 minutes, what I saw is the Jets fail to execute on 4th down. And the Steelers absolutely just run it down the Jets' throat. So oh my God, no, there's a challenge flag. No, Pittsburgh. Just go for it on 4th down. They're going to challenge that he got it, but this is such an ambiguous situation. They're not going to be able to tell when the whistle blew, when the play was blown dead. Probably they're not even going to be able to see where the ball was because of the crowd. Like, this is not the time where you challenge a call, man. What the hell? Why is Mike Tomlin doing this to us? We're going to kill a few minutes here just reviewing something so nonsensical. Tomlin didn't understand the assignment. I hope my boy King is having fun, though. Our resident Steelers fan, a resident chat member, King, is at the game right now. Hopefully he taps in before the game ends. Love to hear his thoughts. But yeah, I think the big takeaway from this game is I guess I can kind of see why they went to Russell Wilson. I don't think it's guaranteed he's the better quarterback than Justin Fields, but you can see the difference. Fields is going to do a lot more with his legs. He's going to do a lot more when the play breaks down. But Russell Wilson gave Pickens opportunities that, quite simply, Fields just wasn't. So this quarterback change is like an investment in George Pickens and an investment on how that could open things up for the rest of your offense. So from that standpoint, it's been pretty big. It's been pretty big, the change. Yeah, 100% the Jets should blow it up, man. 2-5. Um, you've made so much investment into this team. You're gonna be third in your division. At best, you're gonna be what, a 7 seed? Fuck around and have to play Houston or Kansas City or Buffalo on the road. They better hope they get Buffalo just so that the divisional side element of, games tend to be closer when divisional teams play. They got to hope for that. They have to hope for Buffalo in the first round of the playoffs or the wild card round of the playoffs. Best option is the Texans. Thing is, if they got to play right now's Texans, that would make sense. But I think by then the Texans will be playing better ball, kind of the way they did last year in terms of getting better as the season goes on. But yeah, I think if they got to play, if the Texans don't get better and the Texans just stay as what they are right now, which is possible, yeah, the Texans are probably their best bet. I get what you're saying. Call stands, bro. Of course the call stands. You know how hard of a call that was to overturn? Bro, you can barely see the ball in the crowd. On the replay, if you notice, they don't put headphones on when they review shit. They can't hear the whistle. Of course that call stands. That's why that challenge pissed me the hell off. 4th and inches, man. Please just get this first down. Oh my god, they did a quarterback sneak that I don't think worked. They're gonna mark this asshole short. Fuck my life, people. This game's just gonna keep dragging. We don't need this. Damn, Darnell Washington just helped Najee Harris off the field so easily. That's a strong man. Where are they marking this? Yeah, they gave him the first down. Who was that offensive lineman doing the first down so aggressively? I will say, with the nose tackle that stood up the center immediately after the ball was snapped, that was impressive. The center got completely stood up, but then Wilson, to be honest, it looks like he stays patient and he waits for the center to get a bit of a push before, obviously following suit and kind of just following behind the center. Oh no, man! Now New York is challenging. Did you see Brandon Graham lineup as a center? What? I almost had center back, a corner. What? Let me see. Let me search the X universe for this. Brandon Graham. I missed this. Oh boy. This is the same thing as Nolan Smith on Chris Godwin in coverage. To be honest, though, look up Malik Neighbors' stats against Brandon Graham in coverage. But yeah. Oh, thank God. Calling the field stands. At least that was a quick challenge. Why must they prolong a game that's already over? Gail, I've been asking the same questions. We're truly on the same page. Back-to-back challenges in this situation is actually just a crime against humanity. Somebody has to take these coaches to international court because this is not okay. Toss to Najee. Picks up 3 yards. Jets are out of timeout, so 1 first down effectively kills this game. Let me see how I did on my picks against the spread this week. 6-6, and I think this game pushes me to 7-6. Two-minute warning, which is the enemy of anybody that wants a game to end quickly. Third and short here for the game. Devontae Adams and Mike Williams having a pretty mellow conversation on the bench. So Devontae Adams finished with 3 catches for 30 yards. Not the debut that Jets fans were excited for. Just generally, the Jets offense, again, we looked at this earlier. The Jets offense produced nothing but Breece Hall receiving opportunities, right? I think he had probably at this point ended with 5 catches for over 100 yards. Jalen Warren gets stuffed. God damn it. Just go for it on 4th down. Don't kick a field goal and then do a kickoff and waste more time. Yeah, so Breece Hall finished with 6 catches for 103. No other receiver had more than 61 yards. The rushing attack only picked up 42 yards. So nothing really worked for the Jets offense except Breece Hall in the air. Pittsburgh's offense, at least they could run the ball. They had George Pickens going. Oh, thank you, Pittsburgh. They're going for it on 4th down. We love to see it. It looks like they're not going to get the ball snapped. Oh, my God. They're going to call a timeout. You know what? I can end this now. There's 30 seconds to go. Shout out to the 32 people still watching live. Obviously, a lot of people came from the Sarcasm City raid. We appreciate you guys as always. On your way out, people, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Very important forms of engagement for the growth of a YouTube channel. So if you want to show appreciation for what's going on, that's the best way to do so. The more content is engaged with, so that's comments, chats, again, likes, subscriptions, all these things, even dislikes, oddly enough. The more content is engaged with, the farther YouTube pushes it in its algorithm to other people. So that's how channels grow. So if you want to help this channel grow, again, just like the video, subscribe to the channel. We will be back tomorrow for a watch along for Baltimore and Tampa Bay. So make sure you guys are there. And if you don't want to miss any time I go live, hitting the subscribe button is the way to do so. We're going to watch this 4th down, and then we're going to call it a day, regardless of what happens. Pittsburgh hands it up the middle to Najee, who is going to get a touchdown. Damn, Pittsburgh is running it up and Najee's hopping in the crowd. So that's a hell of an exclamation point. Pittsburgh finished this game on a 31-0 run. And I cannot believe this game was an ass whooping, but it was. Anyways, you guys have fun. It was a blast doing this live stream. Hope it was a blast watching it. And I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Baltimore, Tampa. Should be a lot of fun. And we will be there. Hope you guys are too. Take it easy, guys.